In my pants.
Wow.
Hey,
We all know
context.
there's nothing in your pants.
Sporkin's not on stage, so nobody can hear him.
All right, I'll
I think we are all good with that, actually.
He's still trying to figure out why he sounds like someone's sitting on his face.
I don't know. It does sound. Seriously, he sounds very muffled.
Well, they can't hear him to know that.
Oh, that's true. They can't hear him. No.
Just turn the gain up a little bit.
Turn the gate up a bit. That's good advice.
Well,
I don't know, man. I mean, Sporky's kind of got it cranked all the way up.
oh boy.
Most of the time. Now you're on stage.
Oh. What?
People can hear you.
Yeah, and it's muffled, so that's okay.
No, it actually sounds a little bit better now.
This
A little
is
better.
what a small channel guy sounds like with a broken mic.
Oh, that's you're not a small. Well, now you're.
You need a new
Now I
mic.
I'm gonna do a GoFundMe.
There are
A ghost fund me?
GoFundMe.
The ghost fund. There are no small channels, Mr. Sporkin.
Just
There's
small
only.
people.
There you go.
Small people, short people. That's all there is.
And culture is
Watch the short jokes.
Well, I'm
Compared to comics, yeah.
I'm telling you comics. I mean, come on.
yeah, he's short, but like, oh, like I was shocked.
Comics
Don't
is
tell
average.
From your meltdown. Hey, Scott, are you going to be in Orlando this year?
Dude, no.
Why?
Excuse me, we'd like you to have this flower. Excuse me, sir,
Wait.
would you...
Yeah, you had that excuse before.
Juice for Jesus? Read about
All right.
Jehovah's Witness?
Wow. Oh, by the way,
Gotta
by
take
the
care of
way,
the kids.
it's a one-sided conversation again because nobody can hear you again.
Scientology? Or nuclear power?
He's in the next one.
Is he?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, he is.
I'm here.
You heard that was really loud, right?
I guess.
All right, well, I'm gonna turn in my headset.
Did you see you have an ass?
That's private.
I'm sorry.
Ask me about my wiener.
No.
What about your wiener?
Did you guys not see Accepted? What a great movie.
It is a good movie.
Yes, I actually have that on my stream deck.
You know, we
He
could
asked
do
me
that
about
as
my
a
wiener.
we could do that as a short subject for Sunday.
There you go.
I do not mute to play myself to make sure that I'm totally on stage when that happens.
Yeah, he's always on stage. We hear it. But at this point, it kind of sounds like he's just blowing his nose a lot.
That
It's
takes
best.
talent.
He blew his nose and then he blew his mind.
Wow.
Why, that feels like a Beatles.
But it was not with a cause.
Penis.
It does
Gagging
feel
you
like
with
a Beatles.
entertainment.
I thought
Day
that
in
was
the
more of
life.
a Kurt Cobain joke. Too soon?
A day in the life, I think.
Too soon?
No, it's not too soon.
Too soon.
It's true story.
Wow, you look sick. Did you find who did your lighting? Ed Wood? What the fuck is going on there?
Go fuck yourself, Culture Casino. Jesus Christ.
That's 2 F words within 5 minutes of us starting. Awesome.
Advice for the ages there.
As long as it's not the first 7 seconds, it's
Hey, it's
completely fine.
Yeah, it's true. It's lovely sharing.
Yeah, I have no idea why he decided to go blue on me.
I'm blue, baba dee baba da. Wow, no,
was
that
it
looks
talking
about?
worse.
Lighting.
What are you doing?
You look fine.
You know, fuck yourself, Culture Casino.
You looked better with the bisexual lighting. What happened?
Oh, I have the bisexual lighting going on here.
He's got a huge forehead, though, isn't he?
You're one to talk, buddy.
Hey, comics. No, my lighting's beautiful. Are you
You're
lying?
Canadian. Your head separates when you talk.
Yeah. Hi. Welcome to Monday.
And
Hi,
And demonetized.
Oh, there's Pascal. Oh, the forehead. Yeah, he went there. He went there. Demonoitized.
We should. Ryan and I should have a forehead measuring contest.
Well,
soon.
actually, well, in your case, it's a 5 head. He's just bald.
Nick says that you're going through your blue balls phase.
I think we're close. I think we're close enough friends to do that, comics.
Uh-oh.
We still
What?
talking about
What, a
foreheads?
measuring
or-
contest?
Forehead, what?
Wait a minute.
Mr. Drown, the
Hey,
green machine.
I like you, Brian, but I don't like you that much.
Well, because if we are doing the measuring, we'll go Canadian, the metric system. It makes
right.
it
That's
seem
right.
bigger.
At least it'll be in
Tic-tac-toe.
double digits.
Tic-tac-toe with Mr. Drow. No, you can play Battleship on his forehead. Holy crap.
What a
Okay,
comics.
all right,
It's there to cover all the brain.
buddy, you're one to talk.
Holy crowd, turn that forehead down.
Yeah.
Like a 4 1/4.
I have good lighting. You do not.
Hi,
know
Diablo
what
Dave.
happened.
You've missed all of the horrible stuff.
Yeah,
The voice.
No, not yet.
Hey, it's RJ Godzilla saying hi to me and fuck you to the rest of the panel.
Okay, so wait, next Tuesday we got to watch a movie.
Pasco's
Yes.
got it down to the millimeter.
Did you guys?
Because if you go in millimeters, you could be in triple digits, baby.
What the hell do we have lined
That's
up for
awesome.
next week?
I don't know. That's why that was my segue to getting you to tell me what I'm watching next Tuesday because I got to make the thought.
We're going to be watching Never Too Young to Die with John Stamos.
I
I'm
don't
pretty
think
sure
that's
that
true.
was not on the list.
Yeah.
You're right.
Is
it's
that
not.
actually the name
Hi,
of
Sherry.
it? Never Too Young to Die with John Stamos. That's the
Yes.
title. Okay.
Who
no.
is definitely a vampire.
Hey Jay.
No, it's got Gene Simmons in it.
Oh wait, dude, he's got a long tongue.
How do you know?
I heard that he had it's surgically enhanced to be that long.
Yeah,
he, like,
don't believe the
cut
cow thing.
Thing under or something.
It's not cow tongue?
No idea.
Oh.
No, that thing.
I heard he had a monkey's tongue surgically grafted to his tongue.
Gosh, I don't think that's
It's,
true.
No, I mean that was like the shit that like he had like another tongue grafted to it.
Yeah,
What did she do?
I always remember in like the 80s they said he cut that
Thing
part
so he
of
could
it.
lick his
Underneath your
eyebrows.
tongue,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Marilyn Manson had 2 of his ribs removed so he could blow himself. Yeah.
And like I tried it, it didn't work.
You had the ribs
No,
removed.
because you had to have 4
Yeah, I
ribs.
got
Did you
put back
did you
in.
have the ribs removed?
Yeah, I got them put back in. You got to be really thin for that, and it just I don't.
Well,
do
you've got to be
sit-ups.
really thin and really long.
Yeah,
What are you-
well, okay, Brahma, I showed you once.
Ron Jeremy could do it.
This is turning into an episode of Clerks. I could never reach. What? Dude, that's gross.
Snowballing.
Ghost Rider
it-
heard that culture likes long tongue.
Thank you. Scott, I'm going to send you some turtle wax for that humpback apparently you developed after trying to blow yourself.
Well,
That's crazy stuff.
Wow,
Humpback
that was a
whale, dude.
long way to go for a
yeah,
bad
it really
job.
was, but I appreciate it. Guy who was the
I
caddy
know the
for
ad stuff.
Happy
We
Gilmore.
can't turn that stuff off.
I can't do that.
Yeah, that's I think they're
hate
auto
that.
managing that shit now because
Mhm.
I've never turned them on.
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah,
it was
they
by
are.
accident.
And let me also say this about that. YouTube right now is doing whatever it wants because
Mhm.
Oh
there
my
are
God, the
channels that are having like 100 views that would normally have tens of thousands of views on videos right now. It's the weirdest thing. I'm like going, okay.
Well, it's right near the election. I don't want to bring it up, the election though, but they have
Oh.
definitely been
There's an
shadowing
election?
people. Yeah, someone told Canadian or something.
Yeah.
If-
We'll probably talk about some of that stuff tonight, but the first thing we'll be talking about is the squirrel that was unceremoniously murdered in New York. I'm kidding. we talk about the penguin.
Peanut, damn it.
Justice for
Say his
Peanut
name. Say his
And
name.
Fred.
and Fred.
And
Yeah,
Fred.
Yeah,
everyone
poor
leaves
Fred
out
gets
Fred.
left out.
I do love the memes about John Wick 5, though. It's going
Yeah.
to get revenge for Peanut.
But before we can jump into our review, we have some stuff we need to do first. First is the return of headlines with Toxic Man Flu.
Yeah, I did some.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Now I got to find what I did with the thing. Oh, here it is.
Hercules, I'll show you some Herculean meat.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
Penis. Entertainment that always rises to the occasion. He digs deep between the cracks, whether it's a cushion or an ass. It's Pixel News headlines with Toxic Man Flu.
It's mainly an ass.
Mainly an ass. That is true. All right. Is that big enough for you, Culture? Can you see that?
It's pretty small.
No.
Getting there.
No.
And the sides.
How's that?
Okay.
No, we can all read it
down.
now because we're old and blind.
Can you all read it now? There we go.
Hey, this sucks, bro. All right.
You do. I know.
You're doing great work, Toxic.
This week in Pixel News, raccoon Halima Karis claims Trump groped her in 1999. In a shocking revelation, the hard-hitting investigative team at Pixel News has uncovered a story that will disturb the public and possibly change the 2024 election. Move over, Peanut the squirrel and Frank the raccoon. After 25 years, a female half-Indian, half-black, half-Italian, half-Canadian, half-Irish, half-Texan raccoon named Hamala Karis has found the courage to bravely tell Zimzer Zis' story. 25 years ago, Donald Trump groped me in a dumpster outside the Manhattan Trump Tower. And obviously distraught Karis told a group of reporters next to the dumpster outside of the Hooters in Coxsackie, New York.
That's a real place.
It's a real place. I am so stunning and brave for having become what might have been. I was becoming what I needed to become today. Any likeness to current VP is only circumstantial.
Circumcisional, perhaps.
I should have said circumcisional. That's right.
So, so let me guess. He grabbed him by the ringtail.
Right.
Hey-o.
Grabbed him by the... Yes, hold on. There you go. I saw this from somebody who's a washed-up Oscar winner. If that fascist idiot wins, I will leave the country. Wait, why are you all applauding? Please leave.
I thought he pledged to light himself on fire.
It could have been that with the flame behind as well. But I didn't want us to get demonetized, even though you two fucking did it in 10 seconds. But anyway.
Yeah, I hope nobody scheduled any flights on Wednesday because
nope.
All of those reservations are going to be needed for all of these Hollywood idiots.
To get out. Yeah.
But didn't they say it the first time?
They said it.
Okay,
Yeah.
They say it all the time. It's, so many promises that have been so far undelivered.
Yeah.
They should run
Just
for
like
office.
Them making a good Star Wars movie in Disney.
Yeah.
Entertainment headlines, switching to that, Russell T. Davies to replace Nakuti Gatwa with Squirrel. In a move some are calling desperation by Doctor Who guru Russell T. Davies, the BBC has announced that they are capitalizing on the recent wave of squirrel love by reaching into the animal kingdom to find the next Time Lord. When asked for comment, current Dr. Nakuti Gatwa said, I cannot think of a more deserving, underserved, and marginalized group to hand the sonic screwdriver to. I just hope it's a black one with a huge bushy tail.
Well, they just executed that.
It's a quote. I saw this one too from President Shitspants. No one knows where I went.
Yeah, it's
No
kind
one
of funny how
knows.
he's
He's
held on
gone.
the news cycle ever since that last debate he was involved in.
Yeah.
He's gone like a fart in the wind. Just
Yeah.
Well, he did bite a few children on
And
Halloween.
call people
That was it. I mean, seriously, in the last few months, I guess the last 4 months at this point, the only thing notable that Biden has done was try to eat children.
Yeah.
And call everybody garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
forgot.
right.
He called
Good
people
call.
garbage. Yeah.
I mean,
there's that too.
that's just all in the 1 week. It's hard to remember all the crazy gaffes that they've been making. So
Hey, it's
I don't blame
Jen.
you.
Welcome back, Jen. I hope
Hey,
you're feeling
Jen.
better.
I always wondered, like, we all know he's, shot. Why are we all just like okay with it? Every side, Republicans, Democrats, they're just
I
like,
know.
just let it happen. Somebody else.
who
is
has their
running it.
finger on the nuclear football?
Jill in a panda
Yeah,
suit.
apparently.
likely.
It's like,
Well,
China.
okay. So it was Nancy the last year or so with Reagan, and
Yeah.
it was
no,
FDR's wife Eleanor for a little bit there.
Wilson.
Yeah,
I think Wilson's wife, or
But I want to say, Jill, slash Obama were the ones running the show the entire time.
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah.
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 All right. Dixtradamus, great Dixtradamus, predicts winner of 2024 U.S. presidential election will be Republican or Democrat.
He's never wrong.
Never wrong. He's never been wrong with any of these.
That is a very accurate statement. It will either be Republican or Democrat.
Democrat, right.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a libertarian, that's for sure.
No.
Oh, not the slightest.
Nowadays, they're the
But
same.
thank you for your great insight once again, Dixtradamus.
What's funny is
Just
this
goes to
could be
show
set
you
up-
that Toxic Man Flu does not know dick.
I do not. I
But
do
he
not know
sure
Dick.
loves it.
Finally, and mercifully, Douglas Emhoff, wife of current VP, takes squirrel as lover, then slaps it in attempt to ride the next popular wave. Don't let it be said that this guy is not right out there. I honestly thought the best way to help out my husband was to cheat with Pussy the squirrel, then smack it around a bit, a remorseful Emhoff said while wearing dark glasses and covering makeup outside the Motel 6 in Sugar Bush, New York. Real place. I also want to say the Secret Service did not beat me. I ran into a door 12 times. Thank you, wife of current VP Douglas Emhoff, for trying and give
Who'd
us
have
some
thought
naps.
they
So,
would have had a squirrel as a nanny?
You know, he loves them nannies.
loves them nannies.
I mean, at least we have. If she wins,
Just
we
like
got some
Arnie.
fun.
No, that was a maid. Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jude Law.
It took me a whole 10
Screw
seconds to
your
figure out how I was
freedom.
going to be able to say the word, straight. Pussissy, the
Yeah.
whale. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pussy.
Pussissy. Yes, there we go.
Yes, very
So that's your headlines, folks. Yeah, I'm sure they're really good.
Great job.
There.
Oh, those
Here we
were
go.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we're going to end it. Here we go.
They're of the level we've come to expect.
Which is low.
They are becoming
Digs
what they
deep,
must become
Deep between the
to
cracks,
become what has
cushion or
become
an
the
ass.
thing to
It's
become.
Pixel News headlines.
It's unburdened
with
by
toxic
humor.
I am totally unburdened by humor.
Indeed.
That was funny.
Yeah. That was very
Sugar
funny.
Bush, New York, baby.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
All right.
I ran into a door 12 times.
God, divorce.
All right. Rolling the retro for $20 Roonies.
Hey, Roland. Thank you very much.
Roland.
That's very nice of you, Roland.
We get you rolling.
Public
That's right.
service message to get out and vote. Yes, vote for Wesley on Wednesday. Culture
Fuck
seemed
you,
a
Roland.
little down.
Yes.
After talking about Marvel's schedule for 2025, I think a live full wax on his birthday would perk him up.
I think that would help culture too. I think we should do a live full body waxing.
My birthday is Thursday.
You're going to be 72.
Yeah. I look
Wow.
better than Biden, though. Just saying.
That is
How
true.
we capitalize on this culture?
Warmed over shit looks better than Biden right now.
That is true.
I'm having a birthday stream.
Yeah.
Aw.
And
Let's
then
go
I'm
do a
gonna
full
this.
body
We
wax.
have a
And-
Thursday
and
night
then-
stream, though.
And then to come down and, bring myself back down to the regular level, I'll be on this show.
Are you 55? Going to be 55 or 50?
Was it, you could take the
Inches.
you could take the
55
casino out of the
55
gutter, but
inches?
you can't take the gutter out of the casino.
55
culture
inches
boss.
is what he's going to be.
Yeah, the culture boss is finally going to mean it when she sings "I can't drive 55."
Wow.
Indeed.
Uh,
All
I
right.
went there.
TGV Monster for $2 says, hi, comics and everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you, sir. And he
Oprah.
also gifted a membership. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Oprah.
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 All right. Peter Chase for the cover tours for $1 says, Rocky Raccoon went to his room only to find a Gideon's Bible.
Beatles song.
Whoops.
Only to find 6 armed agents.
Yeah.
He went face down in that Bible.
Indeed. Sabertooth Raptor for $5 sent a few emails of ships. I got them. We'll pull them up. Hope you like the
I was
Iron
gonna pull
Wolf
his pants up.
and the refit of the of said ship. One ship is a merging of several ships parts together. Is that kind of like the Frankenstein?
Mm-hmm.
Also, TVG Monster for $10
Look at
I
that.
don't care what Harrison Ford has to say. He called me a fucking nerd. Really? And I am a fucking nerd, but that's not the point. He's a grumpy old man that needs to take a nap. Yeah, he is. And if you saw his endorsement of Kamala Harris, it's just like, it was funny because what's her nuts from Star Wars Explained retweeted. It's like, I knew I liked it for a reason. It's like, oh, look at you getting your political advice from a celebrity. Good for you.
Well,
you fucking retard. Can't think for yourself.
I mean,
we all know who went to the Diddy parties now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he surfed up like a lot of really bad things, like weed with flying an airplane.
Yeah.
So
he looks like he's one racial slur away from being Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino. You know?
Okay, so Gary dropped a video talking about Hollywood today. It was really funny because he's playing like all the political speeches that people are making, from celebrities. And he has the one with Harrison Ford, and it starts and immediately cuts the clip of him saying, "I don't care."
I don't care.
It's fucking
Did you see the one that Richie Gervais did?
Richie Gervais? With him in the
bathtub. That was awesome in the bathtub, yeah.
Yeah, he had that one too. It was, God, sorry guys.
Zachary Levi had to retweet it. And he goes, I know he's making fun of me, but yeah. Oh, yeah, tornadoes. I hope you're okay.
Oh, it's flash flood warning is what we're getting right now.
I thought it would be an Amber Alert looking for toxic sense of humor.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. You know what? If it wasn't for the fact that was totally true, I'd be upset. Yeah.
Yep.
My parents have been under a tornado warning for quite some time now, so
that's no fun.
You live in that part of Oklahoma, whatever.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Tornado Alley.
React Attack for $5. Look at these beautiful people.
It's Ords. That's Ords.
It's Ords, really?
It's Ords.
Oh,
Ords.
What's up, Ords?
What's up, Ords?
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize he renamed his channel.
No. He has multiple channels, but check out React. Yeah, React Attacks is great, dude. He does amazing stuff on there. Yeah, he's killing it, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, he has like famous people and stuff that show up for his stuff.
Wow. Yeah, good for him. Pinochet's helicopter tours for $2. Except we should openly state that they are not allowed to leave. We need labor at gunpoint for the rice fields and veggies.
And veggies.
Gotta love the veggies.
Indeed. All right. Let's talk
tonight.
Let's talk about the penguin.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll be back. Oh, wait. You've got another one.
I got that one. Look at these beautiful
people. That was one with Ords.
Look at that. That's Ords.
Hey,
Look at
it's
that.
Ords.
Okay. It's Ords.
Did you miss like the last 5 minutes of culture screaming its words over and over again until we all our ears bled?
Culture speaks, and I tend to tune out.
Oh well, I don't blame you. I do the same thing. Just kidding. Just kidding. Culture.
Nick. Hold on.
Go ahead and pull it up.
Thanks, Nick. Toxic Man Flu. Raccoon has 2 C's. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. I did not spell that correct.
All right. Thank you for pointing out because it did get starred. Nick is celebrating 6 months as a member. Given the incident with Peanut the squirrel, the government is clearly going after small critters. Be safe, comics. Yes. I'll do my best to dodge bullets from federal agents. So, yep. Just
starting strong with the misspelling. That's the best thing I have. That's what I lead with. It is literally the first word I wrote out of all of these headlines, and you're right. Yes.
Start as you mean to continue, Tox. That's the way to do it.
You're right. That is a lot of halves.
Yes.
And if, comics or culture really cared, they would have highlighted a lot of these things during these jokes that were happening, as opposed to all the dead air that made me feel bad.
But at least you're vindicated by the chat. Anyway. React Attack for $5. Freaking love you guys. Haha, culture rules. And he kind of drools at the same time.
You know what else culture does?
I understand the first half of that chat. I'm not so sure about the second one.
Yeah. And we're all kind of confused by the second half. Of course, culture's not here to defend himself because he's muted.
It's good, but I get to play this.
What did I miss? Okay, I wasn't even here.
Nothing culture. You missed absolutely nothing.
You missed
Nothing
all
happened.
of that.
Y'all are mean.
Yeah, I know.
What do you mean?
Well, we are mean.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. No, I said you missed this part. We're teasing you. I don't know if you saw the super chat. It says, "Freaking love you guys, haha." Culture rules.
Culture does.
It makes
And we
you
all
feel
we,
better.
and we all
Culture
we all
and-
questioned the second half of that super chat.
Yeah.
Not really.
All right. Well, I have
Big
video
question.
editing to do. Is there anything more important we're going to talk about?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about
Big time.
Penguin episode 7.
Oh,
The stuff.
okay.
Would you
What
like
if
to
I
go
s-
first so you can get back to editing Culture
Yeah.
Casino?
Yeah,
Good
sure.
wrench.
Here
Light
we
shoe.
go. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet.
Oh, I hope it's good.
Okay.
Wait, I watched The Penguin. Here, I'll show you the episode. Here we go.
No.
Okay. it
All
already-
right, Bravo, would you like to kick us off?
Already has my.
I don't know
thumbs
who
up.
else watched the episode besides me, but apparently it's
Sure.
getting-
So, first 15 to 20 minutes were a little bit dark, eh?
Oh, very much so. I saw Gary post that on Twitter. I was like, oh yeah, it was kind of dark, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
just a tad.
I don't know how we want to do tonight's episode. I thought it was a pretty good episode. I mean, it's the setup for the finale where we'll finally have Sophia and Oz, going at it, I
Collide head
guess.
to head. Yeah.
Yep. There were some very slow parts to this episode, but the opening was very good. And like I said, very dark. Clancy Brown has joined.
Awesome.
He's joined Colin and Kristen in the acting category. Bumping up the level that he's doing on this show. So
Yeah,
There's
it was a very good episode for Clancy Brown. Not so much for his
Yeah.
character, but a good episode for him.
correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a good episode, and we can get into actual details after everybody else talks, I guess.
Yep.
Everybody else who saw it, so you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brian,
Oh,
did you see
I
it?
saw some of it.
No, I'm afraid I'm waiting until the entire season is finished and then we're going to watch it all in one go. So I'm sorry I haven't done the weekly thing.
No, fair enough.
Sorry about that.
Scott?
Yeah,
give your thoughts?
I mean, it was nice to at least, well, yeah, the beginning, but it was nice to have some of that backstory on him because we had two episodes ago we had like her backstory on how her father.
It's like
screwed her.
episode 4,
Yeah,
think.
okay.
4 or 5.
Yeah, 4 or 5, and then like to see first of all the little kid that plays him, I thought was good. I thought he was good when he's like walking past the gangs and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" Yeah, it's it's weird with this show. Like, there's episodes I really like, and then there's other episodes that feel like they drag. This had
Yeah.
like a little bit of both.
There were some
Um,
very slow parts of this episode.
yeah, like but Colin Farrell, I mean, the dude is brilliant. Like, you do not see him I mean, you technically don't, but like he becomes the character. The woman who plays oh god, I just blanked on her
Sophia?
name. Yeah.
Mo-
she-
Miliotti.
Yeah, she always plays usually like a sweet character, like the mother on How I Met Your Mother or something like that. And what I liked about her, in this, is she brings like this intensity, but not like over the top like the Joker.
Mhm.
And you know what I mean? She
The
just has
haircut
this.
helps.
The haircut does help, but it's
Mhm.
like
It does
the
not help her.
eyes. Her
Yeah.
eyes are so like her eyes act. It's like she really
Yeah.
tells you when she wants to rip you apart or she's forgiving. Yeah, she's a great actress.
Yep.
But yeah, good episode all in all.
Yeah, I agree. I liked it. I think the slowness didn't bother me for the episode as much as maybe you guys did.
I just felt
Um,
like last episode was slow too. So
Right.
this was 2 that had very slow
Mm-hmm.
parts.
Right.
Was
And
why it bothered
but I
me in
like the
this one.
story. And, it was
Yeah.
good to get that background and stuff. So it was slow, but it was also like informative and entertaining to a point. I don't
Mhm.
know.
Yeah, there are some things I'm surprised didn't happen in the episode. For those of you who watched episode 6, you know that it ends with Sophia, showing up at the apartment with Vic and Oz's mom, and I figured they'd both be dead.
Mhm.
Honestly, and I was kind of surprised that was not the case. I enjoyed it. Clancy Brown has some really good scenes in it. Yeah, I'm not going to get into spoilers just yet. I'm really looking forward to the clash, and that some things I thought were really well done is that you get a lot of scenes where Sophia is talking to Oz's mom,
Mhm.
and she kind of gets this point where she kind of feels defeated in a weird sort of way, and then Julian, who's the psychiatrist that is from
Dr.
Arkham, who
Rush.
she's been fucking,
Yeah.
basically kind of tells her, no, you're not living in your father's shadow, and kind of like re-encourages her to get pissed off again.
Mhm.
And what she ends up pulling off was actually pretty fucking brilliant. So it was a good episode, very good episode.
The Doctor. Now, I don't know. Is he a character in DC?
I
Comics?
don't know. I don't
We'd
think
have to
so.
have Nick
First
to
of all,
know
that
that.
actor's great. I
Yeah,
love that
he
actor.
played
Played
Shades
Shades,
in
yeah.
fucking what's it called?
I don't know, but he was in
Big
Sons of
black
Anarchy.
guy.
Luke Cage. Luke Cage. I was like trying to remember if it was called Power Man, so it was called Luke Cage.
Luke
Yeah,
Cage.
so he was Shades and Luke Cage. Looks completely fucking different.
Yep.
Because in that series, he looks like a fucking badass. Where in this
Mhm.
one, not so much.
Right.
He looks
He
more
was-
simpy than anything else.
He was
does, but
pretty
also
good
Iron
character
Man.
in Sons of Anarchy too, though.
Yes.
I mean, he was a bit rough in that one. So yeah.
Yep.
Theo
So-
something is his name.
Mm.
Good
Oh
actor.
yeah. I remember him.
All right, let's throw up the spoilers and we'll get to spoiling the episode.
What am I doing?
Spoilers.
Spoiler.
Oh,
alert.
okay.
There we go. All right, Bram. I'll
Is
let
this
you-
when Culture says I need to go soon? Oh,
Yes.
sorry.
I'll let you let you go first.
Sure. So the opening, we find out that Penguin's got two brothers.
Mhm.
One's
we kinda-
15 and one is 10. We kind of
Yeah.
knew, but
We
we didn't
kinda
know
knew that
exactly
already.
where they'd been or what
Yeah.
happened.
I
So-
think throughout the series we already knew they were dead,
Mhm.
and we weren't
Did
quite
we?
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was
kinda- Okay.
it was mentioned several times that his brothers were gone. Because when he was talking to Sophia about how the mom took him out to go dancing, because that was a callback. They basically showed what he previously was talking about.
Mhm.
Basically, after the loss of his brothers, that
Yep.
they went out.
They got all decked up.
Yeah, they get all decked out, went dancing.
Right. And that may have been in the first episode because I didn't see that one. So, but
It's one of the first. Yeah.
yeah. So the kids decide, the mom decides that the kids need to go outside and, do normal kid things back in that time period. So all three of the kids leave. They go to where Penguin's actual lair is now. So that's how he knows about it.
Mhm.
And I can't remember what triggered him to close the hatch on them, but he
Okay.
closes a hatch on his two brothers.
So they're basically playing hide and seek in the old train station, and it's raining. So that's like one of the things that's going on, and the rain continues to pick up. So Oz is he's searching for his brothers, and what they do is they leave the train station and go into the tunnels,
Right.
which is basically into the sewers, and they go into the sewer, and there's a hatch with a ladder that climbs down, and they're trying to get him to come down. And because of his leg and his brace, he slips and almost slips off the ladder.
Right.
And he gets pissed off at them, and he's like, "Well, screw this," and then closes the hatch and walks off, not thinking about it. So that he's not
Right.
intentionally trying to do anything to his brothers,
Right.
but he locks them in as it continues to rain, and it ends up flooding the sewer, and they both drown.
Yeah, it's the
there's no way out
overflow.
for him. And
Yeah.
that's what I like to see that too, because you see in that first episode, like he talks, and I think he's talking to Vic too about him, or it's Sophia at that dinner. Like he thinks about them fondly. So I was glad to see like he didn't do it out of anger, because we've
No.
seen him do stupid shit. Like even him, like after.
Well,
the
he
fact.
did do it out of anger, but he wasn't
Yeah, but-
intentionally like trying to harm them, though.
That's what I meant. Like he
Right.
didn't plan like they're gonna drown in there slowly, but no, it was it definitely was like a good scene. Okay, he's not that psychotic. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
He doesn't tell his mom where they are.
No, he doesn't. I mean,
Just-
So, I mean-
Get from that.
it does highlight that even at a very young age, Oz has been very deceitful.
Yes.
Now, do you think he was like, he just assumed coming back later, open it up, and haha, you guys were in there, and now you're. But
Well, I think Me personally, I think he was banking on the fact that they would have figured a way out.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Because what ends up happening, he goes back home to his mom,
Right.
and she's like, where are the others? Oh, they went to a movie.
Right.
And rather than saying, I locked them in a sewer drain.
Right. And then he sits down and
And so
watches them
they sit down and watch a
dancing.
movie, and the scene is done very well because it cuts between them watching the show, him kind of like looking to see if his brothers are home yet,
Yep.
and cutting back to the sewer drain with the closed panel, and you see the water coming through and them yelling
door.
to open the door, and the water keeps rising and rising. Obviously, it gets to the point where the last one is you see the water is coming up from the top of the hatch, and you don't hear anything, so you know they've drowned at that point.
Yeah, it's pretty. And he's laying in his mom's arms watching the show. Like, it's good. I like how they do that cut back and forth. From that. Yeah.
And I liked the show that they picked. Everybody's wearing kind of the classic penguin,
Top
tuxedo
hat.
with the top hat and everything. So kind of, I'm assuming an acknowledgement of the older style of that character.
But it also goes back that I kind of thought when they were playing that film, it's singing and dancing. And have you ever noticed, like, Goodfellas, I think, did it, a couple others, like, they always have like somebody watching a TV at some point, and it's always either a singing moment of an old show or like a dance moment. And I almost felt like that was kind of a homage to that. Like, there's one part I think in Goodfellas, it's like beep, beep, like the dude's using like his hands to make it whistle. And there's a couple others I can't think off the top of my head that are gangster movies that they always have like a scene for some reason. American, Italian Americans must love, I don't know, show tunes.
Musicals.
Musicals? I don't know.
Musicals, maybe.
So
And then we jump back to
that's the
Vic, right?
dark opening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then what happened next?
They jump to Vic. Him like
They go to
slapping
Vic.
right?
Yeah, he's trying to wake Vic up,
Yeah.
and he finds out that his mom's been taken by Sophia.
Yep.
Yeah. And the thing I really liked in there, because he's like, where the fuck is my mom, and all this stuff. He's like, okay, go rile up the troops, and he's like, I'm sorry, Oz. He's like, fuck your guilt.
Yeah.
Go get me an army.
Go get me an army.
Go get me an army, kid. Go get me an army.
Well, because I think he realizes it's not his fault, because you see Vic has like a cut on the side of his head, and there's blood all over his face and the side of his head from when he probably got pistol whipped or something like that,
Right.
knocked unconscious. So
Kid's had a couple head injuries if you think about it. Car crash like this. He's gonna have issues.
Yep. So I'm trying to. So he sends Vic out.
Yep.
Which you
And
just
right after
described.
that.
And within like 30 seconds, Sal walks through the door with a couple of his guys.
Yeah.
And beats
Takes
the
a
living crap out of
golf
Penguin
club, right?
with a golf club.
Yeah.
Like a 3-wood.
Yeah.
God,
Has
I
some
mean,
fantastic
brutal.
scenery chewing going on there.
And Clancy's just awesome in that moment. I mean, just beating him and just screaming at him. Oh, it's a good scene. It's a good scene. Clancy is just a great actor that I still don't think gets enough normie like praise. I think people that know of him love him, but you ask like people that aren't into watching a lot of movies and TV, they don't get how great of an actor. I mean, I go back Carnival. He was amazing.
Oh, he was amazing in Carnival.
Oh, freaking amazing. I
But
wish
there's
that
so
happened.
many so many times that you see him, he's more like just a small bit
Right.
role in the shows. I mean, Kurgan, obviously he wasn't a bit role, but like Shawshank Redemption, he's not
Yep.
the biggest role in that. He's just kind of one of those side guys,
Yep.
but he always turns in a good performance.
He's solid.
So he beats the crap out of him, and this is where a little piece of information is given the Penguin that he's not allowed to kill him, because Sophia and Sal have made a deal. So Sophia's guys are telling him you can't keep going, you've got to stop. So
Right.
Penguin knows that he's not going to die immediately.
Right.
So then he starts, trying to wheel and deal again a little bit. So
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, because the funny thing is there's like this great exchange where it's like, you looked me in the eyes and said you leave my family alone. It's like, now I'm going to give you the same courtesy. And it's just like, it's fucking really well done,
Yep.
because it's like, oh man, he's just like fucking twisting the knife into Oz.
Oz is such a just degenerate.
Oh, he's a piece
repulsive
of shit,
character,
right?
Man, but you're almost cheering for him.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm more cheering for like, okay, I hope Vic makes it out of this alive.
Yeah, I am too.
You know,
We've
like,
predicted from the beginning, I think, that Vic is going to have a bad time at the end.
Yeah.
if they were smart, like to show us it's not safe, you know,
Yes.
they would have to.
Well,
Well,
okay.
they showed
this-
that in this episode.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, and that's the thing too, is that what they've done is that, hey, this is storytelling, guys. This is something that,
Yep.
Hollywood used to do.
Right.
You have a character, you start to like him, you get emotionally invested in him, and when he dies,
Mm-hmm.
there's an emotional impact, right?
Right.
So if Vic doesn't make it through, it's going to have a very much an emotional impact. I mean, he's a great character in the series. He's a, I gonna say kind of an innocent kid that's kind of fallen into this rough crowd, right?
Yep.
And he's doing it to survive.
Yep.
It's like in the previous episode, we saw him kill for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and it was fucking messy. It was really sloppy, and it just like, and he was a complete distraught wreck after it happened, and it was so well done. And
Yeah.
then, I mean, he's definitely a character that if we lose him,
Yeah.
there's very much going to be that emotional impact.
And that's
Kind of the
beauty
only
of,
good in the show.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the beauty of good writing. You know,
Yes.
like they built up a character, we've gotten to know him. Like I watched that Agatha All Along. And like and they go, yeah, I did. They went through
So
the
did
whole
we.
thing. And she was supposed to have like, I guess, in a relationship with death, but how does she have a relationship? Because they never really show you.
I want to know
they
how the
met.
fuck she got pregnant if she's a lesbian.
Right, well, that too. But it's just like, what? How do you guys even like?
2 words: turkey baster.
And it was hot.
Not in the like, what was it, the 1600s or
1700s?
1700s?
1600s.
Yeah, 1750. But it's just one of those things where you're supposed to.
I'm
like,
sorry, thy turkey baster. Fucking guys.
But like in that show, you
Please
don't-
goeth and bringeth the holy turkey
Do
baster,
turkey basters have pronouns?
so that I mighteth becometh with child.
It'd probably be Bellows.
I just performed better than anyone on Agatha. All right,
That
next.
was really
You
good.
legit did.
Yeah. Maybe that one lady that's like the card one. She was pretty good. But it's one of those things like at the very end when her son and all this stuff is going on and death comes and like you're supposed to feel something, but you feel nothing between them because it was never built up. It was kind of implied, but it was never like you never saw a relationship between the two. She calls her my love. Did they ever get along? Like these people just assume we kind of told you they hooked up. So feel.
Yep.
And it's just like, okay. This, they build it up for you, like how Game of Thrones, the first season did when Ned Stark, spoilers for season 1 of Game of Thrones. Don't waste your time watching the whole series.
Who plays him though?
wait,
Who plays
wait.
him?
Yeah, you should know he's gonna die.
Scott.
Yeah, the book's coming out soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
I had to pop up again to remind you. You're
I-
never going to see the book, dude.
No. I'm at least getting one more. Okay.
No,
And
no.
probably 2. And I'm also
okay,
gonna
dude,
win a
dude,
lotto. So
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now. That guy is like a strip of bacon away.
not even anymore. I think he's like even a cauliflower away. Like that dude is just.
If he so much like looks at bacon, he'll probably have a heart attack.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. So I feel
His arteries will instantly clog.
I feel like someday he's gonna just take a step onto his private railroad that he bought with all of the billions that you made sure he got.
Oh, I
so that
did
he-
too. Look at all
so-
the shit I got.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So that he absolutely wouldn't finish the books.
Yeah, but I'll always have the mythology.
The mythology of what? The
I don't know,
unfinished
just shut
set
up.
of stuff? Okay, all right. Sorry. At least
You know what?
Tolkien finished.
I'm just
Tolkien-
glad I never read the books to get invested in it and to
Oh,
be
dude,
pissed
it's
off
one of the
about it.
worst feelings. but
This
I'm
is
just
everything
hoping-
else in pop culture that's been ruined.
Yeah, I'm just
Scott,
hoping like
Scott.
a family member sells out and like lets somebody else finish it. Maybe they
Maybe.
will get that.
So, Scott, I'm going to tell you, and I've got to
Yes,
go
Thomas.
get something to drink, but I just want to tell you this: that
Yes, Tox.
Comics Division will find Joy Behar attractive before that book comes out for Game of Thrones. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I need
Wow.
a support group, and I'm going to start one every Tuesday
gonna
night
start
on Sparky
crying.
News Podcast. 7
Have
p.m.
you
Eastern.
seen the
Please show up.
Axis of Evil? It's a Canadian band, and they have a song about Game of Thrones called "I Read the Fucking Books," and it's a guy at a party, and everyone keeps going to him and says, "Have you seen this Game of Thrones show?" And he's like, "I read the books. I've been waiting for that for years."
That's me.
And I'm like, every time I hear that song, I think of you.
Yeah,
All right, now I'm going to go get something.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to say it this way.
Say it this
We
way.
will.
I wish
see,
you would.
We will see Stedman Graham again before that book shows up.
Is that Oprah's husband?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that dude is like Joe Biden, so that's
Yeah.
impossible.
I
Like I
didn't
said,
realize that Oprah was even married.
yeah, dude. We're not supposed to talk about it. Okay, Oprah
Yeah.
will come for you. Say it 3 times. You're screwed.
Yeah. I mean, dude, and she doesn't even look the same. Have you noticed that like three
Her
to
head
5 years
elongated?
ago?
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
her whole head changed shape.
It's all the children's blood. I mean,
That's
all the
it, and
celebrities are doing it.
We talk about that Saturday nights on Sporky News Podcast.
Oh, that's right. You have a aluminium spork or something.
Aluminum, dude.
No, aluminium.
It's
It's
spelled two
it's
different ways.
aluminium.
About
God,
once every
nothing
7
to do.
weeks.
Yeah, once every 7 weeks or so.
You know, you might be the most consistently inconsistent channel I've ever followed.
That's my stitch.
okay.
Stitch.
Your
Get up.
Stick? Your shtick?
Stick.
The one Saturday I was
Stick.
thinking of doing the monetization stream, and Sporking goes, "We got a show tonight."
Yeah,
I was like, "All right."
you should have canceled it.
I
have
did never
devout
schedule it. We had
followers.
just
To be
talked
honest
about
with
it.
you,
10
Scott,
of
I didn't even realize you were still alive.
Dude, not many people do.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
That's
feel
why I'm
like-
here.
I
Because I
feel
just
like-
got to suck off the teat.
I feel like when I show up over on your channel, it's everybody but you on the show.
Usually that does happen.
Yeah, I know.
But not anymore. I just cancel it. You know?
Okay.
Because
But anyway, back to the episode. Enough about Scott's channel. Let's talk about the
I'm
episode.
sorry. I'm
Depressing
sorry.
shit.
We don't want to promote our friends at all. We want
No,
to talk
no.
about Penguin that I
No,
didn't
none-
see.
none
All right,
slightest.
I'm going away. You keep talking.
Hey, Radar. We can be friends.
You know it's Monday culture. You know we talk about the show.
I'm with you.
And you know
Anyway.
you can never trust comics to promote things.
Can I ask
Like
you
the
guys a
election
question?
stream
Wait,
that he mentioned
wait.
all the guests, but not me.
Not Brahma.
Wait,
Or
did he
shit.
mention me?
No.
Brahma, you
He
think that
mentioned
was
Carrie. He mentioned his buddy Brian that he's got coming, and even Brandon Morse.
Brandon.
poor
He didn't
naive
mention
Brahma.
us?
Poor naive
No, he
Brahma
didn't
thinks
mention us
that's a,
on FNT.
he thinks that's a mistake, Brahma. You're so naive.
That was awesome.
He's not wrong.
You motherfucker.
Culture's like,
The funny thing is, Brahma watched the entire show just for that minute, and then it didn't
Twice.
happen.
Yeah, because I had texted him during the show and said, "Do not forget to promote the election stream," and he said, "Got it." And then it didn't happen until they went all the way over to Rumble.
I was so
that's when we do the
excited for it.
promotion stuff.
You guys were talking about the election. You could have just said, "Hey, I've got an election stream on Tuesday night."
Oh, that's awesome.
You know what, comics?
Be more assertive, sir.
I'm gonna have to. I got to rework some documents. Tox and I need to talk. This is crazy. What happened? I feel like my contract is a fucking like thing crumpled up in the fucking cat litter box that you fucking ignored for 6 months. Your cats are dumping on it constantly.
Contracts?
I didn't tell you the best part yet, though. My wife walked out right as you were doing your outro, and she was like, "Aren't you on that stream?"
You didn't fucking.
I was like, "Yeah,
you know what?
I'm
not
co-hosting it."
coming. You know what? I'm going on Ron Coleman's election stream. I'm going to go hang out with the
All right.
president's attorney.
Brahma, I'll work with you,
Freaking
buddy.
asshole.
Don't worry about it.
Go back to editing Casino.
Yes. Nothing's changed. I
So
love
where
it.
were we in the show?
Oh.
This is when they switch over to Sophia, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I think it's about
Right.
time. Yeah, about
What do
when
you
this
want
one's
to
over.
take this part? I think it's where the psychiatrist comes over. She's got the mother.
Yep.
And he comes in and tells her that Gia, her niece,
Yeah, the niece.
is asking to talk with the cops. So
Yep.
she makes a quick visit over to the psychiatrist's office, or wherever they're
Well,
keeping.
first
the
off,
Yeah,
the
where
kid.
was that?
They,
Okay.
they had a really good exchange between Sophia and Oz's mom.
Yep.
And I
Yeah.
love her thing where she's like, "Are you gonna make me toast or kill me?"
Yeah, he's like, I'm not impressed.
Well, and they have like this great back and forth, and then suddenly her dementia kicks in,
Mhm.
and it kind of like throws everything off, and that's when the doctor shows up. And the thing that was really interesting about the whole thing with the visit with the niece is this is where her she begins to waver, right? Because she basically saw the gas mask in her backpack,
Mhm.
and she asks, Sophia, did you kill my parents? And she's like, no, I didn't. It was a tragic accident, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, but I want to let you know your parents were bad people. She's like, the whole family, they deserve to die, but not you.
Now, who that's the daughter of the her like cousin, right? The girl,
I guess it's her cousin.
right? The one
Yeah,
that
the
comes
one that
over,
got
like, we gotta go to
jumpy.
Aspen, and then got nervous when she walked over. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so when she leaves the room, she begins to break down. And that's where she's like kind of like questioning everything and,
Mhm.
Talking about, kind of like living in her father's shadow or, doing the stuff that her father wanted and, all the stuff. And, Julian kind of goes and gives her a pat on the ass and say, no, you're not, what you want is revenge.
Right.
Because she does.
She doesn't want to play the game the same way her father did.
Yes.
So she's decided to go scorched earth on everything.
Yes.
Her father was a dirtbag.
Which
Now,
I'm surprised that she did not kill Oz's mom yet. But instead, what
Right.
ends up happening
She's
is
going to
that
break Oz with, basically, I think what'll happen in the next episode is she's going to break Oz by having the mother
see it?
turn against him because
Oh.
she will find out through
Mhm.
the psychologist or through Dr. whatever his name is.
Julian.
He will find out somehow what happened to the brothers and that Oz was actually responsible for them.
Yes.
And Oz only cares about his mother's love.
Yeah.
Maybe a little too much.
A little too
Yeah.
much. But
Well,
one of the
yeah.
things that she ends up doing is that they're supposed to be meeting so she can go and claim the drugs. Bliss, I think is what it's called. And instead, the guy gets out of the car and runs. And so he's like, what the fuck's going on, Sophia? Or should you get your stuff? And he has like all his men lined up to go and get ready to, oh, fuck, we left out the fact that,
Yeah, we're a little bit ahead.
Yeah.
we got a little too much ahead because Oz ends up killing Marconi.
Yep.
Sort of.
That's in the. Isn't that where when they walk
Well,
into
yeah,
his
you're right,
drug
sort
dealing
of.
place
Yeah.
first? Yeah.
Well,
One thing
because he leads them back to the den where they're making the drugs,
Mhm.
and one of the guys, starts getting closer to where the power is, and eventually, he realizes what the guy's planning on doing, and gives him the nod, and Oz starts going, did your wife wear a lot of hairspray? Because man, she went up, and he gets all pissed off, and then they yank it, and the fight begins, and.
Yeah.
What happens is Marconi ends up having a heart attack.
Right, because he beats the shit out of him in that school
He
bus.
beats
and
the
then he
shit
starts
out of
going
Oz.
down.
Yeah.
Yep.
That-
Then he has a heart attack, and then Oz reinvents what happened in his own head, shoots him about 8 times,
Right.
and then claims Sal's ring.
Yep.
The only thing I didn't like about that scene is like, first of all, Oz only had like 2 guys with guns there, like covering his drug den, and both guys just kind of walk into the bullets by like.
Well, I think he had more. It was that
They
those are
just
the
kind of gave up.
Those are the 2 guys that everybody basically was like, well, because when they
got the jump on him.
Yeah.
Okay.
When they see that they have Oz, they're basically like, well, if we do anything, he's dead.
Yeah.
So at that point, the SUV rolls up. They expect that it's going to have Sophia in it,
his mother,
and the mom. And so the guy runs off. He's like, what the fuck's going on? She's like, well, have you found my surprise yet? And I'm like, oh, great. It's going to be his mom's body.
Right.
And they open up the trunk, and it looks like there's going to be a body. And he pulls it back, and it's a bunch of fucking explosives. And it's like, holy shit.
And then he does the most Oz thing you could possibly do.
He fucking runs.
He just runs. He doesn't even yell out with 20 seconds left before the explosion,
Get
bomb,
the fuck
or
out.
anything. So he leaves all of his guys there. You hear them walk over and go, oh, crap, it's about right as it explodes.
Yep.
And he actually escapes down the same hatch that he had trapped his brothers in.
Yeah. But wouldn't you like, Oz? That dude's a dirtbag. Even if you work for him, you know he's a dirtbag. If I see that crippled dude running, I am freaking taking off, dude.
Yeah, you would think you would.
know?
Well, the funny thing
Well-
too is he just gave them a rousing speech about loyalty and all this shit too, and that's the thing that's so fucking funny about it. It's like, dude, it's like talk
and
about
they
the man that
proved
has
that loyalty by saving him from Sal
Yeah.
just a few minutes before that. And then he abandons all of his guys to die.
No one
Yep.
but his mother, and maybe now
I'm thinking Vic
Vic-
too.
Vic,
maybe.
because Vic reminds him of his younger self. Just this, it might be a different thing, but
Mhm.
you know, he gives Vic a lot of rope. You know, Vic keeps screwing up all the episodes before, and he just keeps giving him rope because it's like something about Vic is like pure with Oz. That bond. What like the most you could see that Oz was really hurt when Vic thought he would kill him when they were in the bathroom. That, one. It's like he's like, you really think I was holding you hostage? Like, and then he comes back and saves him, and I think that just solidifies how much he
Yeah.
cares for the kid.
I think it's Vic's stuttering
Yeah,
and the way
of
people
course.
make fun of him
Yep.
is
Mhm.
him
Reminder.
seeing himself in
His
in
disability.
Vic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wants to make him tough. You know,
Mm.
it's a good once again good writing. You have these two polar opposite characters, you know, but this kid is slowly entering the realm to the point where I hope if this goes on for a while, he becomes an antagonist towards the Penguin. You know, like
Yeah.
he makes him that hard.
There's one thing
Well,
that Ron is
Question
right.
where the hell was
mentions
Vic?
Is
Yeah.
where the fuck did he go? He basically vanishes.
Because when
Yeah.
he first goes back to the base, he even asks, "Where's Vic?"
Yeah.
He-
And then, everything starts happening. But
right.
yeah,
Next
he's never seen
episode.
again in the episode.
Next
Yeah.
episode, he'll have a freaking army.
So yeah, what ends up happening is that the bomb goes off. Oz saves himself. Everyone's killed, and they had this great scene where you just see the fucking wreckage of the bomb detonating.
The whole
and
the whole city block bounces in the air.
yeah, it's fucking insane. It was really well done, and and then you have like people like wandering around, kind of confused about what's going on, and
Yep.
Oz makes it out, and he gets tased. That's
He
the end of
runs
the
into
episode.
one of the detectives that is in Sophia's pay.
Yep.
And I don't think he got tased. Didn't he get clubbed?
Oh, you got clubbed.
Is
Yeah.
that,
I mean, he gets knocked unconscious, and that's where we kind of end it.
Yep.
So
forget,
he'll be getting taken back to Sophia.
Mm. Who basically goes where they take the mom is to the club where they went to go dancing, which I think leads credence to your thoughts about how he's going to turn his mom against him, because that
Yeah.
was the place where
She's
You know,
gonna
the-
hurt him in the
Yeah.
worst way that she can.
they were basically dancing, and the mom's basically crying and saying, you got to make something of yourself,
uh-huh.
to take care of me, essentially.
Yeah, and with the dementia, she already seemed to have like some issues even back in the day. Like maybe this psychiatrist seems to use that red light and
Mhm.
some type of regression or whatever you call that therapy, where he's gonna like brainwash people. He almost has, you could see it with Sophia. He can make her like snap from being emotional to being angry in just a few lines. So he's going to be something more, I think. He seems like this dorky sweet guy, but not sweet, but dorky, kind of creepy dude. But I think he's more brilliant than that. I think he's like kind of like he's like a puppeteer.
Mhm.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Overall, I enjoyed the episode. I'm looking forward to how this ends. Hopefully it sticks to landing is all I gotta say.
So only one more, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
one more
last
episode.
episode coming up, so it's set up for Sophia and Oz.
Head to head.
Just
Uh,
to
yeah,
break in
Pieces
real
have
quick.
been taken out.
Totally, Jaffo. Totally.
Yeah. No, this is Wayne Kerr. Wayne
Okay.
Kerr.
Yeah,
All right.
uh-huh,
Wayne
uh-huh.
Kerr. Blue lighting subliminal message that comics is a white dude for Eris. The raccoon? Or
Oh,
raccoon?
Yeah.
Right. I
Ferris
misspelled.
the raccoon,
Mm.
Got it. Yeah.
or no, Karis, right?
Karis.
That's
Karis. Yeah.
Karis. Yeah.
That was the last one,
Kamala
right?
Karis, the
Kamala
raccoon.
Harris,
Yeah.
yep. Can I ask you guys one question about, do you feel like this is a DC show though?
No, I feel it's a mobster show.
Yeah, I
It's
agree with that
great.
sentiment because
This is-
this is one thing I've said over and over again is the fact that I wasn't a fan of the Batman, and I had no plans of watching this series. And everyone was talking about how the first episode was so good. I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. We'll see. I was like, wow, this is actually really fucking good. And I fucking hated the Batman.
Yeah, me too. But this is very Sopranos-y.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I just want to say that Jaffa is correct. You do look like the guy from White Straight Guys for Harris. That's who you look.
Well, I'm
Okay.
not so sure about the straight part.
Do
but
they
yeah,
actually
the white
throw
Well, I
guy?
was gonna say
Straight
that
in?
culture looks like the one of the guys from the Game Men for Harris. So
You be
Oh,
more
Did
of a
you
bear,
see
though.
that picture
You're a
with
bear.
Dean
Yeah.
Parker and Harry Sasson and whatever the other guy's
Yeah,
name
I
is?
saw that.
yeah. I mean, honestly, Comics would fit right in with those guys. Look at that right there.
Literally.
oh, culture's a little salty tonight.
Come on, the
No, I'm
Avengers.
good.
That's what
too.
they said.
I'm good. Hey, I'm gonna be older than you in a couple days.
I do love that every single
Yes.
person male that I've seen vote for Kamala and admitted on Twitter is like, and I'm straight.
Yeah, they all have to throw that in. I only
No, you're
tried it a
not.
couple
Really?
times.
Sure, I kind of question that.
You
Yeah.
think-
All
are,
right.
they, are they suggesting there would be something wrong if they weren't? That's a bit of a weird thing to say.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Many weird
For a
things.
Kamala voter.
Yeah, to bring up. All right, let's get some super chats. Captain Spark $5 says, working as a judge at the election poll in my district tomorrow. That's good. You should be active. Everybody should get out there, get active. Pray for a good, safe turnout, and that good men and women fight for a just tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely. That's good that you're doing that. We need more people getting out there and being, the poll watchers, helping
we
people
need
at the
people.
polls and all that stuff.
Helping
And
people with polls.
it can't be just people on the left doing it. We need people in
Right.
the center and on the right as well. Bell says, I watched the Penguin episode 7 for $2.
Southern Belle.
Also, Deep Bowl for $1. Remember to go vote, hit the like button, and bombard Tox's X with Spider-Man memes on Saturdays.
Sundays.
Dennis the Menace on Mondays, Wesley Crusher on Wednesdays. Wow, dude, you have the whole week planned out. Hail to the chat and panel. It is National Riot Day yet? Is it
It's
National
getting
Riot Day
close.
yet?
It's
Yeah.
Getting close.
Yeah.
Wednesday or Thursday, like
Did anybody see that even CNN went after her on one thing? So she had ads in Michigan talking about how
Yes.
Palestine needs to,
Oh, yeah.
like she's siding with Palestine, but then in
And then-
Pennsylvania, she's all about Israel. Like
Yep.
it's
Gee, I wonder
hilarious.
why.
It's hilarious, dude. I had to save it on Instagram because it was just like one of those where it's like this is the hypocrisy we've been talking about for 8-9 years now.
Yeah. Also, when we get through the super chats and the Green Machine rants, we'll talk about some of the stuff because I watched this thing. It was pretty funny. It was John Oliver's desperate plea to convince people to vote for Kamala, and it's just
4
absolutely
days earlier than his
Yeah.
show is normally released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And did you see
It's-
the
we'll-
Avengers?
Yeah, I did. Unfortunately, we'll talk about it. Southern Belle for $5. Very suspenseful, well placed for the story and character development. Motivation set up for the finale. Final confrontation. Irony of sewer used in current day. Yes, 8 out of 10. Also, Toxic Man Flu gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, Tox. Very, very kind of you, sir. Eric K for $2. Tox Connect. I believe he was a gay witch. Yeah, we didn't realize that he was secretly in Agatha all along. He was one of the brooms that the gay kid was riding.
That's right.
So he was the baster?
I was
Yes.
a fluffer.
Yes.
I fluff.
Mod Eric for $1 says Oprah was a regular on the Diddlers. At the Diddlers. Really?
Yeah, they've been
They
friends for
all
a long, long time.
They all
Really?
are.
Wow. Interesting.
Yep, yep,
Released the,
Sean Sora for
clients
$1 says, this was my first time voting locally and general, and I did it early, and and I would like to say thanks for letting me be informed, and no matter what happens, The conversation keeps going. Hail the 199 and MAGA. Yeah, I mean, it's...
Cheers.
That's the good stuff, man. Vote local.
Yes.
Brahma brought it up last night on Culture Stream.
You brought it up last night on mine.
Yeah.
Was that last night?
Vote
2 nights
local.
ago?
Right. Yeah. And like there was a ton of judges on my ballot, like 30. I have no hope of researching all of those.
Right.
Find someone you trust. Find some people you don't trust.
Yeah.
And look at what everyone's saying from either side, and then make your determination on what you think of that judge.
That is a good way of doing it.
In a situation where you're in a terrible area where you are, one of the most important things you can do, and this is my opinion, okay, I'm not electioneering. My opinion is what he said. Find somebody who knows these judges and can elucidate what they have ruled on and how they've ruled. Because in a bad area, you need to know who to retain and who to kick.
Yes.
Why? Because the governor in many states, maybe not in Illinois, but the governor in many states will be able to select the next judge.
Yep.
You do not want that to happen. You want to if you have the luxury of having a Republican place judges where you are, in my opinion, those people will be studied and rule by the law, not by their feeling. Okay. You do not want you don't want laws made from the bench. You do not want establishing precedent
You don't
to
want
happen.
judges who will kill Peanut.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah, amen, Ron.
So
That's right.
So, but if you're in an area where you recently had a transition of governors to one that's a lot more favorable to, like, I don't know, you know, maybe you get rid of all the judges that nobody can vouch for.
Right.
That's probably a good plan.
And another thing is anybody who's like even a little center to right, the left has locked down the local voting in a lot of places because a lot of people don't realize how important it is and how like a Soros backed person starts at the local level and then rises up. It's really important to look at, and I don't care what side they're on. If you find someone you like and that is, you know, backing your values and doing what you think is important in your town and state, you should be voting for them. And I saw this crazy report that more women vote than men.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
That blows my mind, dude. Men in Pennsylvania, first, please go out and vote.
Well, I mean,
Men
think
vote
about
on election day in much larger
mass.
numbers than women do.
Yeah, and so one of the
Okay,
most important and terrifying things to any political party is when men vote early. It's scary for them. It doesn't matter the political leaning. It is never a good sign for an incumbent when that happens. Now, that rule may change over time, but right now, when men vote in big numbers, especially early, things change. So so tomorrow, when you get up, if you haven't voted early, it's doubly more important. I don't care if you think you're black-pilled. I don't care if you think your vote doesn't count.
Amen.
I'm not even going to tell you who to vote for.
Right.
Go out and vote.
Yeah.
I'm taking
I
my
will say
10-year-old daughter with me so she can see it.
Even if you're in a state like California or New York, your vote still counts because
it does.
The popular vote, if we have a situation where the Electoral College and the popular vote go to a candidate, that becomes a mandate.
That's a mandate. Yeah. And look, if we see numbers like the possible numbers plus a mandate at the popular level, you end up with a Reagan run. Let me tell you, they can't say jack all about it. And it will be a referendum on the idea of dragging people across the border to change the demographics of this country.
Yeah. Well, and there's a lot of things. We had Fetterman on Joe Rogan, who basically said, you know, that basically, yes, the Democrats are importing people in.
Let me say this one more time. This is really important. Rogan did something incredible this week.
He did multiple incredible things this week.
Exactly. And that's the point. By the time you wake up tomorrow, and you probably don't even know this, you're going to need to watch WW Pro tomorrow morning, his first video. Elon Musk did an interview with Joe today.
Mhm.
Yes,
dropped
that's
it.
right. Mhm.
And so you're looking right now, when you wake up tomorrow morning, that within a week, you will have had Joe Rogan account for over 100 million views on YouTube with 3 interviews.
That's just
Yep.
on YouTube.
That's
Just on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
he did release his endorsement, which he is, to my knowledge, never
He
done
never
before.
done
Oh, he did
before.
finally?
He endorsed
endorsed
Trump
Trump.
tonight when he released the Elon Musk
Yeah.
video.
Oh,
Yeah.
And said
fantastic.
basically Musk was the reason he's red pilled.
So, yes, voting in the national election is important. There are things at the Supreme Court level that is our absolute last line of defense.
Yes.
The unfortunate thing is we've gotten to this point.
Yes.
Voting locally keeps you from getting to this point.
Right.
We have a very long slog to get rid of the administrative state.
Yep.
That is choking our economy, that is tearing up the backs of our citizens, that is impinging on our rights for their own whim.
Yeah.
It takes a lot.
And one of
And-
the go ahead, Tox. Go ahead.
I'm just saying it. What impressed me about the $1 super chat was that I also voted locally.
Mm.
Right.
Mhm.
Yes, it's a pain in the ass to go and read the newspaper because in many local places, the newspapers where things are, you'll see your county assessor rates and all that stuff and things from there. I missed the ability to appeal my property taxes and get a 30% reduction by a day because they published it and then I got the newspaper, right?
Yep.
Delivered. So, but knowing those things going to City Hall, yeah, it's a pain to watch those people work. Well, they're doing that to keep you from being involved in governing yourself so they take your power away.
Yeah. And that's the evils of the administrative state. And we have two very good examples of why the administrative state is evil. Dexter Taylor, again, we talked about Dexter Taylor multiple times. Those of you who are new, don't know who the man is. He lives in New York. During COVID, he got into gunsmithing. And what happened is that he didn't do anything. He didn't take them outside, didn't go shoot them. He just put them together. But the state of New York found his records that he purchased these things online, went to his home and arrested him. He went to jail, had his trial. The judge, who was a black woman, he's a black man, by the way, just throwing that out there, just to give you context. Judge is a black woman. She said basically the Second Amendment has no place in this courtroom. And he was basically
That's a
thrown in
direct
jail.
quote.
That is a
Not
direct
basically
quote.
said. That was a direct quote.
Yeah.
She should be.
And the reason why he is in prison right now for 8 years is because he did not fill out fucking paperwork. Okay. That is so ridiculous.
You didn't
it's
fill
the
it out
same-
correctly.
Yeah.
How do you
The other issue is the whole thing with Peanut the squirrel. And I know some people out there are tired
No,
of us talking
it's
about, but this is a
huge.
prime example of the evils of the administrative state. The fact that I don't know how they found out. There's speculation. I don't know if it's been proven or not. Doesn't matter. But the fact that they showed up to this man's house and took the squirrel and euthanized
in
it.
force too.
In
showed up
force. Yeah. They were in his home for several hours, tearing the place apart.
Yep.
They also took the raccoon Fred, and they basically,
murdered him.
yeah. I didn't want to use the
They killed his
term murder.
pets.
They killed his
Sporking
pets.
News did,
Yeah.
not you.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
And that is fucking awful. They found the squirrel. It was the mother died. They raised it. They cared
70
for it.
years.
Yeah. To
Well,
them,
they asked him if he had cameras, and he said no. And then they turned off their body cams,
Yes.
and then they proceeded to impinge on his constitutional
the
rights.
fact that they turned off their fucking body cams, that's criminal right there.
Well,
If they
it's-
had
yeah.
body cams.
I mean, just a couple, or maybe 6-7 months ago, the father and son who prayed across the street from a Planned Parenthood, they came in force, took his whole family, put him on the front yard, guns pointing, down on their knees, handcuffed, because they prayed across the street.
Across the
Yeah, last I
street.
checked, you're allowed to protest.
This is
Whether you like it or not, And that's the thing I find interesting, because like there used to be an abortion clinic I drive past because it was just on the road that I would frequently drive, and you'd have people on the
Cruising for
sidewalk.
chicks. I
Yeah,
got you.
yeah, cruising for chicks, totally. Loose
Fatty
women.
ones.
The easy
No,
ones.
but seriously, it's like they would be on the sidewalk holding their signs. That was it. They're not clogging the streets. They're not
Right.
being a nuisance.
Or
You know,
burning things.
they have a right to protest, and the fact that somebody was arrested and thrown in jail for protesting in front of an abortion clinic, I find absolutely detestable.
But that's the thing.
Absolutely.
We let them get away with making a law that basically says you can't impede anybody in any way from going into an abortion clinic. And they will just call that impeding
Across
entry
the
into the
street,
clinic.
right? Yeah, it's unbelievable. And the idea that a judge says the Second Amendment has no place in her courtroom, she
It's
should
disgusting.
be disbarred for that. Like,
Yeah.
there, and
Yeah.
you have a
It should be
VP
grounds for appeal
Well, right.
immediately.
But you know, the
Right.
bar associations in the states are being run by Democrats.
Well, that's because
They're going after Republicans. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
No,
go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say the idea that even a VP candidate, Balls or whatever his name is, he literally attacked the First Amendment,
Yes.
wanting to put restrictions on the First Amendment, and they always go with the "you can't scream fire in a crowded
Yeah,
theater."
they go
We
for the
all
most
agree
absurd
on
thing.
that.
By the way, you can.
You
Yeah,
can.
You
You
can.
can.
You just might get arrested for it, though.
No, like
No, you
legit,
can't.
You can.
They misquote that.
Yeah,
Oh, really? I never knew
they
that.
misquote it all the
That
fucking
is
time.
that is
It is a
not
falsehood.
part of any ruling or any stuff that's happened. That is that was part of a dissenting opinion.
Yeah.
It has no standing anywhere, and that's how they
That I
get
didn't
you,
know.
Mhm.
Right.
right?
It's-
Is
it's
they've made the
misrepresent-
laws so complicated
Yeah.
and so obfuscated, you don't know what it is. That's the administrative state.
Oh, and
The-
that
the-
brings
the-
me
the
to another
issues-
point on the voting.
Okay.
Make sure you read your local statutes and
Amen.
amendments very carefully, because there were at least 2 in Colorado where they once again pulled the double negative within the sentence, and then you have to vote no or vote for or against, and you have to understand the double negative sentence. That's why voting guides are very important. If you can find somebody, like Tox was saying, I was talking about last night, find somebody you trust for what you kind of want to have a map for your ballot, because that double negative crap completely changes the language.
They
And
fucking
you think you're
that's
voting
criminal.
yes, and you're voting
Mhm.
actually the complete opposite way. So yeah,
That shit's
that's the
fucking criminal.
administrative
They-
state trying to trick people into voting completely against what they actually think they're voting.
Yeah,
Right.
they need to stop doing that shit. That
Yeah.
is, I fucking hate that sneaky horse
Well,
shit.
isn't the average IQ in the country like 80 something, 85, 90?
I
So like
don't know.
you need to make it plainly written.
I don't
so-
think it's that low, but I don't
No,
know.
it's
I'm not
pretty
smart
low,
enough
dude.
to tell you.
It's
Yeah.
pretty low.
Well, and okay, so one of the big things is that we've been talking about is, you know, we brought up Walsh and the whole thing with free speech. It's like there is such a war on the First Amendment. I would say right now more so on the First Amendment than the Second currently, because they want to be able to control,
Mhm.
you know, information, you know, the truth, all this stuff, and that's the thing you need to watch out for. The whole thing with misinformation, disinformation. I'm trying to remember. I was watching John Oliver. I mean, just the whole thing was chock full of mis and disinformation, lie after lie after lie. And again, this is out of desperation because, you know, he is literally pleading with people to vote for Harris, and everything he fucking lists is fucking misrepresented.
Hell,
You know-
Obama yesterday in his rally
Mhm.
repeated the fine people hoax again.
Yep. Well, the
It's
thing
been
that
debunked 1,000 times.
the thing I find fucking funny about all this shit is how they basically, a comedian made a joke at the rally and they are attributing Trump to saying it.
Right.
Yep.
And everybody there was laughing. He wasn't just attacking one group either.
Yeah.
He attacked like you.
It was
he's a
And
taken
little-
out of
actually, on that
context.
joke, there
Right.
was a lot of groans because
Right.
people
Well, there
did think,
was, but you know what? You know what? He did say it, and I really believe it. Right now, the Republican Party is what I see as being run more by, without Trump, being run by more classical liberal people, like all of us who were
You-
kind of classic or
you're talking
libertarian.
about you're talking about New York Democrats.
Well,
Well, what we're talking about is a new
Connecticut, so yeah.
coalition that
Yeah,
Trump
it's-
has put together with RFK, with Elon Musk,
with
Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, with
it's a new
he's got-
Republican Party.
yeah, he's got a whole group of people that he is going to have have as advisors or in cabinet positions.
Yeah.
That is a completely different coalition than the Republican Party has ever had.
Amen. I know people voting for Trump and they hate him because RFK will be going after big pharma and big food.
Well, and that's the other thing. He attacked RFK, and he brought up the whole thing. Oh, he's going to deport immigrants. It's like, dude, he's not deporting immigrants. He's deporting people who came to this country illegally.
Yeah,
okay,
especially the
And
ones
they
that
always
are
love
violent.
bringing up the most people that immigrate to this country are law abiding. It's like, yeah, but you're not law abiding when you come here illegally. Okay,
Right, take over an apartment
right
complex.
there. First off, you already broke the fucking law. You don't deserve to be here.
And what,
Okay.
what means more to me is where are the 300,000+ kids that went missing that came over the border because they stopped doing DNA checks after Trump left office, and someone just grabs a kid and says, "Yeah, this is
300,000.
my kid." And
Yeah.
over 300, I think the number is now
300,000.
over 320, 300,
And then showing up to that next court case. Yeah, showing up to that next court summons is voluntary.
Yeah.
So those kids, I mean,
They're gone.
They're gone.
They're gone.
But remember, it's only a handful of apartment complexes that were taken over by advanced
just a few in a few cities in multiple states.
I mean, is it not the case that they're now actually the authorities in Colorado and Bramall know this are investigating the owners of the apartments, not the gangs that have taken them over? So they've opened an investigation.
It's only a few apartment complexes, and that's a good thing.
So how dare you complain about your apartments being stolen from
those-
you and people being terrorized?
Those owners are all Chinese anyway. They bought all this stuff. Okay, so I do want to say 11 Alpha is correct. I am sorry. Oliver, it was Holmes who did that thing that said if somebody that in a theater fire. Okay, that was from the majority opinion, but it is misquoted. He's right. That opinion was also overturned
Yes,
in
it
Brandenburg versus Ohio. So that's I knew
John
it wasn't
Holmes.
right,
Holmes.
and it wasn't there, and all this stuff in there. But I got the order wrong, and also there. So 11
Sparking
Alpha.
left.
But
Thank you
that's
for
what-
correcting.
I got you, bro.
me on that.
But what that goes to show you, like, I feel like I'm a little bit more informed than most people when it comes because I pay attention to stuff, and I didn't know that.
Well, and I misquoted. I mean, you can't
It's
know
obscure.
everything, and that's why Brahma's comment about you're going to have to spend some time
Doing
and
some
find
research.
some people you trust and do some research on things, right? So if you research a few of them, right, and then you go, okay, I know that Ben Shapiro, though I don't agree with everything that he says and everything he does, I know that he has done a lot of research behind it.
Yep.
So if he says something that carries weight, I still trust but verify on things that matter, right, from there.
Yep.
As opposed to some of the people that are on like the Tim Pool show and stuff. I'm like, yeah, these people just off their rockers from there. But culture's been needing to get out. Yeah.
I was going to say, culture looks tired.
Yeah, we need to get him out. So.
Hi, culture.
Hi, everybody.
It's dejected Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah,
Did you get done with your video?
No. Dude, I wasn't going to be able to do that. I was too busy paying attention to you guys. You're brilliant conversationalists. I don't know why anybody wouldn't be paying attention to you. I do feel like you're completely wrong about Mighty Mouse, but that's an entirely other conversation. I need
He had it
to.
coming. He had it coming. Culture.
He did. You guys need to check out
Mighty
my
Mouse
channel,
dead?
I have no idea.
Culture Casino, and you need to check out my game channel called That Game Place, and you need to do that soon. In fact, tomorrow, because tomorrow I will be live for 11 hours straight, basically.
Straight. That's a first time.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying. So you're gonna
It's
want
the
to
first
check it
time
out.
you've ever taken 11 of anything straight. Yeah.
I'm there if you need me.
Not the first time. I
Wow.
would say.
Anyway, so check out Culture Casino. Check me out on
Taking
this
11 to the
platform
face.
on Rumble, and check me out over on That Game Place. We have That Game Place live. We've moved it to Tuesdays, so it goes from Ron Bradley in the morning, to Culture Casino for the 6 Minute Daily, to Magic Mornings on That Park Place, to WDW Pro, to the H Cast, and something else after that. I keep forgetting, but there's a lot going on tomorrow. And so for 11 straight hours, I will be live, which means that all
you'll
of the
be
videos
live a hell of a lot longer than that if you're coming to the election stream.
Well, and yes, I didn't even get there yet. And that means that all of the videos that you're going to see tomorrow, I've been producing for days beforehand. And there's going to be plenty of videos tomorrow.
Have you played Field Guard yet?
No, and I will not touch that game ever. I wouldn't touch that game with your dick. Anyway, also, afterwards, after I take a break to eat food and, take a shower, probably, I will be.
I say take a shit.
Well, that probably too. But I will then be joining the gentleman for the election stream. And I'm going to cancel sleep for 2 days from that point forward. So,
I took Wednesday off.
Yeah, I can't. I have to make content. You guys, look, some of us take what we do for serious because we're retired.
Well, the election's technically not going to be over until they've counted enough votes for Kamala to win. So,
you know what? Tox, I like you most of the time. Right now, I'm gonna I'm gonna
King
show
Jeffries,
up at your house.
2025.
All right, I gotta go. Somebody
Later,
make me go
I
away.
should go.
I
Check my
should
channel out.
go.
I should
Big
go.
Dan here. I should go.
That's the one. As soon as we get everything lined up,
No.
and then we're screwed.
Something's going on here. I don't know what it is. Oh, for Kamala.
Kamala. My
He
wife
didn't
told me.
vote for Kamala.
I never
Yeah,
got to
there we
the
go.
tea party. I got lost every time.
I was gonna say on the voting guide thing, a good place to start, at least if you lean politically like most of us, would be maybe your local AM radio, political morning show. That host will usually have a voting guide that they have put together with a number of other people.
And don't overlook your local political party affiliates.
Yep.
We've got stuff in this county and in this area, in this town, and I've been talking to a few of those, had a few dinners, that kind of stuff. Just talking to them, and it's very much like church. You go to church, you have fellowship at church, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
You have to have a fellowship about your government. I 100% do not believe that religion has anything to do with government at all. Okay. How you rule and your government and all stuff and that, completely different than your faith.
Yeah.
All right.
At least
So,
for most of us.
So that it's an individual thing at that point. And you talk to people and you're there talking about the subjects and stuff that are going on. That's also how you hear slightly different opinions from yours and how you make an informed decision about things. And you do change your opinion over time. I didn't, I was more classically conservative younger than I am now, by far. And that's more because I believed what I was told, and then I started going around and learning more and talking more and stuff from there. So, I mean, that kind of brainwashing stuff comes from both sides, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like...
Yeah.
And you want to be the informed person that makes your own decisions.
Well, the main thing is, it's like with any household, you're going to be raised with the values of your family, right?
Right.
If you come from a left-leaning...
So your family.
Or against.
My family's all hookers and blow. Damn it.
I mean, but most people, I mean, yeah, you might rebel or whatnot, but usually they end up with the values of their parents. Yeah. Usually. Not always. So there's that. All right. Mr. Gregory AI. Is this AI Grant Gregory?
Yeah.
For 5 Australian pesos, or also known as didgeridoo bucks. The rest of the world is depending on the U.S. to do the right thing and elect the right president. Good luck. We are counting on you. Hashtag RIP Peanut. Yes.
Good luck. We are all counting on you. Makes me think of Leslie Nielsen coming in the
Yeah.
cockpit.
Good luck.
airplane.
We're all counting on you. Also, AI Grant Gregory for another 5 Canadian pesos. Question for Dems. Why would the institution use its tools to lose influence when it's ruling unopposed. Why send votes to a system you want to get rid of? That's a good question.
Well, I really think the electronic voting and the way that you're doing that with all the data and stuff inside it, like the ballot that I had when I printed it out, all the data was in a QR code.
Mm.
And I asked them, I said, okay, I want to take a picture of my vote, how I'm ballot. And they, oh, no, you can't do that. It's a class 4 felony. But it's a class 4 felony. No, it's a class 4 felony if I take a picture, take a selfie. It's a selfie law. They have it in Texas. Same exact law.
Yeah,
Really?
There's 7 states where you can't do it.
7 states do
There's
it.
others where it's restricted on what you can do.
But I can't
there's-
take a picture of my ballot with the intent on showing it to someone else. So when I told the polling person that was there that my intent was to keep it, to make sure I had record of my vote in case it was changed by the electronic voting system, which has been proven in court does happen, I could legally take a picture at that point. The poll worker didn't know the law. I didn't know the law.
Yeah, for documentation, not for
Correct, for
throwing on
documentation on
social
stuff in there.
media.
So I spent 3 hours reading it. I needed to spend 3 hours reading it before I went.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I remember getting a receipt for how I voted 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get that this time. They had a printer. I went, electronic voting, punched all the buttons. It printed it out. I had to say, yep, that's what's printed out in the ballot. It's the way I voted. Still all electronic. And then when I take it to the thing, it zips it through and it gives a count up. And I think, okay, well, what's my ballot ID so I can track that back? They said, you don't get that.
Really?
Right.
The
so there's some,
Secretary of State website, you should be able to go in and look it up by your name, birthday.
You should be able to do
maybe
that,
one other
right.
identifier.
So, and that's the kind of stuff that I needed to research more about my local state and how things work. It's like firearms laws.
Mm-hmm.
You need to research and know if you're going to own a firearm, if you're going to have a concealed carry firearm in the state of Illinois, I need to know what all those laws are. One of the reasons that I have concealed carry insurance is USCCA also has a site that helps me maintain those laws in different places when I travel, things such as that. So I didn't follow my own advice and do my due diligence on the voting that was around here because I assumed it was going to be the same as last time.
Right.
It wasn't. Right. And that's,
Right.
And as Promise says, Secretary of State website, you got to go out, you got to do that stuff.
Yep.
So Second Amendment, First Amendment, Fourth Amendment, voting.
Yeah.
Those are the 4 things that I need to concentrate on.
Right.
And to be clear, the Secretary of State cannot say what your vote was. It can just show that it was counted or not.
Right. So
Right.
in my
Really?
Because
my
it's illegal
yeah.
for them to keep a record of what
Of
you
who?
voted. It's
Of who
all
voted for what?
anonymous.
I like
Right.
how you just put that up. So real quick, I put a article from USA Today to get people started to see if you could take a picture or not.
Yeah.
But in my state, when you do early voting, you go in early votes. That's why I didn't do it, is because one of my buddies at work went and you fill out your form and then flip it over, walk over to one of the polling people, put it in an envelope and then put your information on it. And he's like, wait a minute, why would I do this? And they're like, well, we won't look at, your
Right.
voting. Like, we're going to take it out and put it in a pile. So, but he's like, but my information's on there. So you could see what I voted for. So who am I? Like, he was like, who are you to tell me you're allowed to see what I voted for? But, oh no, sir, we won't look. How do I know you're
How
not
do you
going to
know
look?
that? How
Like-
can you prove
Yeah,
that?
right
privacy
there, they-
envelope isn't sealed.
So some crazy person on either side can see what you voted for and then has your
Start
name and
shredding 'em.
address.
Or just start
Or
shredding
do
them.
something, yeah, shred them or do something even worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
But that is what I have some hope in this election, because the GOP, once we got rid of what's her face and got Laura Trump in there, she seems to be
yeah.
pretty damn serious about making sure that eyes are on everything that they
They
can
have
be on.
lawsuits going everywhere
Mhm.
now.
Well,
Like
and that's the thing.
Arizona- Oh, I'm sorry, go
I
ahead.
was watching something today when I was walking past the TV. They're talking about how like the whole of the poll workers. It's like I don't recall poll workers really being under threat, but they're talking about how they have armed guards and bulletproof glass and all this other stuff. And it's like, what, you think Trump supporters are going to go after the vote counters? It's like, fuck off, people.
Yeah, we
That-
have such
I
a
mean,
history of it.
But that's what
Yeah.
they'll do. That's what they'll do, man. They'll just start saying, just like good people on both sides, they just
Yeah.
keep repeating it, and then it becomes the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. And it's
Uh,
the
It's what I
fact
hate
that
about
they're
people like Destiny, constantly harping on the Jan 6 thing. You know what happened? There was a riot on January 6th.
Yeah.
You know what else happened? On January 20th, there was a peaceful passing of the power.
yeah.
There
Well,
wasn't
and
a
that's the thing I find so fucking funny
it was
about
a
all
riot.
this.
It wasn't an insurrection.
Well,
Right.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
okay,
It was a
you go that
riot.
way.
And the thing is that the issue is there's no fucking nuance to talking about January 6th, because whenever they show footage, they don't show the people milling about inside, right? They
Right.
always show the violent clashes between the
Right.
cops and the protesters.
Right
Excuse
after
me,
the tear
rioters.
gas was
Right,
sprayed
Well,
into the
yeah, right
crowd.
after the whole tear gas thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's image when they think of January 6th, because only that footage is shown, people don't believe the fact that, well, you had on the opposite side these people wandering around, and those are the people that they've been going after, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Without and putting them in jail and
Yeah.
leaving them there without representation, and these
Due
are the people
process.
that-
Solitary
due process.
confinement.
Yeah.
But these were the
It-
people that, like, the guards were like giving
Opening
them
the
a
doors.
freaking
Yeah.
a tour.
Everyone talk about the fucking QAnon shaman, but it's like
That poor bastard, though.
it's like, but he's actually being led around by the cops. It's not
Yes.
like he's holding
Yeah.
them hostage.
They're
They're the
walking
ones
along
with the
with
fucking
them.
guns. I mean,
He
He's even
for them.
asking them questions like,
He
"Can I go
prayed
in
for
here?"
them.
yeah.
He prayed with them.
It's insane how that is so misrepresented. And like I said, the rioting side, I do have issues with it, whatever.
Yeah.
But my issue with all this, we hear constantly about January 6th. But hey, what about Chas Chop? What about the
Summer of love.
fiery but peaceful
Right.
protests that happened all over this country that caused millions of dollars in damage, and people actually died besides Ashley
Yep.
Babbitt.
Yeah. And
We actually had
thousands-
law enforcement die as a result. We had a Trump supporter executed in Portland. None of that gets fucking mentioned.
Nope.
None of it
Right.
gets brought up.
And don't
And-
forget during that too, they were told they didn't have to wear masks at those riots. Like that was
Right.
another big thing because
BLM is too important to worry about masks.
masks. Like they take whatever narrative they want and they force feed it through their machine, which is the media for the most part. And when the media, who is supposed to be checking both sides for the citizens and holding them accountable, sides with one side, well then
It's
the
an issue.
it's more than an issue. It's a state-run media, and we are then in trouble because they force feed you. I am so grateful for podcasts, seriously, because without them, the news would still be like, oh yeah, well, they told us that those were bad people on J6. So grandma, sorry, we're not going to be able to get you out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
The most
very
armed
big.
populace in the history of the world
And
shows
no
up
one-
with no weapons
No
Yeah.
weapons.
To peacefully
to
protest.
do an insurrection.
yeah, to do an
Sure.
insurrection. Mm.
With some three-lettered agencies intertwined
Yeah.
with the people.
And
Yeah,
I love
it-
that Jamie Raskin is right now saying that they will not certify the election in the exact same way that Trump was challenging the election after they've spent years now saying you can't do it. It's not something that can be done.
I
Mm.
gotta look that up.
Well, it's funny because they like to call the people that question the 2020 election
Challenge the election.
challenge, question, et cetera, basically election deniers. But it's like you've had this shit from the Democratic Party since 2000 with
2000.
Bush.
Yeah.
And that was a shit show too, by the way. The fact that we didn't know who the president was until, like, what was it, halfway through January in 2021 is crazy.
Oh, yeah, that was so bad.
Was it that long?
Yeah.
It was.
The hanging Chads thing went that long?
Mhm.
It went on for a bit.
The Supreme Court finally did it, I think, before the election certification. So it went on for a couple of months.
Yeah.
And the Supreme Court just shut it down. What the Supreme Court did was put a stop to the counting.
Yeah.
Because they recounted and recounted and recounted, and they just kept challenging.
They kept
and
finding
throwing
more
out,
ballots
challenging
and more
throwing
ballots
it
and more
out.
ballots.
Yep.
So it was them keep counting and counting and counting till they get enough. And it was such. That's when I started watching Fox News, which I don't watch anymore, over CNN. The CNN used to be, like the New York Times used to be. It was the
Washington
Record,
Post.
right? And
More
then
straight news.
I was watching, and I was home during that time, and saw the whole thing for 2 weeks. And CNN started a press conference I watched. 2 hours later, CNN had completely reversed what the guy said at the press conference.
Wow.
Look
Right.
what CBS did.
CBS, all this stuff, and other things from there. The one that took the longest to do that was Fox News.
Yep.
And it took them about 2 days. So I knew if I got to the news at Fox News the day that it happened, I'd get an actual pretty close retelling of what actually happened,
Mhm.
as opposed to that game of telephone and stuff that happens on those news networks.
Being first isn't necessarily being the most accurate or best.
Yeah.
I
Right.
just want to prove the point right here. We just saw Grant Gregory say that BLM
One of
leader
the leaders.
Oh, well, yeah, we talked
Official.
about that. Yeah.
So Snopes updated on the 30th, so a couple days ago. Did former BLM Rhodes Island leader endorse Trump for president? Mark Fisher has also expressed support for January 6 rioters who were arrested for violence on the Capitol Hill. So all it does is really just attack this guy who was part of BLM.
Right.
And then like at the very end, it's like, oh yeah, he endorsed.
Yeah,
Trump.
he did.
Yeah, he did that months ago, though.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
while
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked
It's
about
just-
it. It was actually pretty funny because we watched the video clip of him talking about it.
That's great.
But to
Yeah.
be clear, it's not like the leader of BLM. It was a leader of one chapter within BLM within one state.
Right. The leader's
Right.
somewhere in Malibu now with all the money
Yeah.
people donated.
Patrice Cullors, yeah, she.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the funny thing, the whole thing with Patrice Cullors, I mean, we had the joke of buying large mansions for a reason, which is fucking hilarious. Also, yeah, Mark's 47 celebrating 18 months as a member. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Mecca J said, so Tox is more or less brainwashed now. Yes, that's 100%. Randall, he would tell his parents how to vote, which I can fully understand that.
I do
from
that with my
standpoint.
mother-in-law
Yeah.
and my wife.
Mhm.
They don't pay attention. They ask me, what are we doing on this?
What are we doing? Rhaegar Targaryen, since they are doing random villain shows now, they should make an Arkham Asylum show. Yeah, I'm kind of for that.
There is
I like that.
there is talks about there being like this
Mhm.
TV series universe of the Batman. So there could be a chance of them doing
I
something.
don't want another universe
No.
of anything.
Well, I got
Just
you,
keep
man.
them.
I got
Just
you.
if you're gonna do another villain, do another mini series on the villain.
Mhm.
Keep
I-
Penguin completely separate from it. Just if you're gonna do a universe, at least introduce everybody in their own show for the next few years, and then maybe think about doing it. Do not jump back
Don't
into a
rush it.
freaking universe thing again.
Yeah. Well, what I ultimately want, which is what I hope they do at some point, just give me a fucking Batman TV series. I mean, that's what Batman is meant to be on, not the big screen, because you could tell better stories, long form stories with television. That's kind of the problem.
Yep.
You know, I've said this 1,000 times, guys. I'm pretty sure you're sick of me saying it.
Never.
Superheroes are better on the small screen or on the big screen.
I
'cause you
want
can tell
them to
a
bring
long-form
back
story.
bring back 1960s Batman. I want the Rubber Shark. I want
Yeah, a
all
little
that.
campy shit.
No, I just-
I mean, but that's the only way you can do it is campy, because you don't have enough villains to keep a show running and doing a weekly villain.
I disagree because
how
Batman
did
the
they-
animated series did it perfectly.
But it's animated.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it
just-
is animated, but
That works a lot better than we see Colin Farrell in episode 1 get arrested, and by episode 7 he's back out and
But does it
doing
always
something
have
as
to be
It
Penguin
doesn't
again.
always need to
Yeah.
be like the big Batman villains. It can
Right.
be
No.
the greatest
Doesn't.
detective?
yeah.
Yeah.
One of my complaints about when it comes to Batman and the movies is that we never see him being the world's greatest detective, and it
Val
doesn't need to
Kilmer.
be focused on a particular Batman Rogues Gallery villain. What they need to do is have it where he's constantly going through and solving mysteries, and occasionally, sure,
Mhm.
we see we get an appearance of the Joker or the Riddler or something
Yeah.
like that. Or you can make a specific episode about that individual. The main thing I want to see is Batman being the world's greatest detective
Yep. And the closest
and kicking the
on
shit out of people.
the
True,
closest
Randall. Very true.
in the movie world was it was Val Kilmer. Watch that one again. He literally is being a detective in that one.
Yeah.
A little bit, but compared to any of the other ones,
Well,
Well,
even
it was the
to a
only one that had
degree,
Riddler.
even to a degree, we saw that in Batman versus Superman, which is a horrible movie. I didn't like it, but we did see Bruce Wayne pretend to be a detective,
Right, yeah.
rather than Batman pretending to be a detective.
Mhm.
Well, okay, Sherlock Holmes. That's a great, if you read The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes,
Mhm.
and that's a great template for writing something about Batman. So there were
Mm.
odd things that came around that Sherlock Holmes picked up and did this, did that. There was a few longer form novels that were out there, but it was written for a magazine.
Yeah.
Right? To be digested in 3 or 4 publishings for one of these short stories.
Huh.
And then towards the end, all of these people, that came up with Holmes, there's this mastermind, Moriarty, who's out there pushing this here and that and pulling these buttons. That's exactly what you need to do with the Batman
Yeah.
series.
Yep. I was going
Right?
to say that too.
And
yeah.
you could do that with the Joker, the Riddler,
Yep.
Two-Face, the Penguin,
Mhm.
Mhm.
right? So you've got 4 years worth of arcs on just those 4 villains
one
alone.
season
Yeah. Well,
each.
because one thing I was thinking,
That you could do 25 shows.
what they could do is have, each season that the overarching meta plot being about one of the Rogues Gallery villains, right? That's pulling the
Exactly.
strings.
And then you've got 4 or 5 years worth of content. You know what people are going to be looking forward to. You got people talking about it. Are they going to go with the Penguin this year? Or is it going to be the Riddler? Or is it going to be this? There's an unlimited amount of Batman villains that you could, well, not unlimited, but you know what I mean.
yeah, there's quite a
There's
few.
enough of that Rogues Gallery out there to do that.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn's origin story, if they did it right and all that stuff and things from there, now you've got 2 years worth of Joker plot lines that you could run,
Mhm.
right?
Have Harley break him out
Right.
in one season.
You've got her coming in and stuff towards the end of the one season. Batman gets him. Yay, Batman, thank you so much. Batman's a little depressed because he doesn't have somebody to go after or any of that stuff from there, and she breaks him out of prison.
Well,
Or
that's
she
the thing
go-
the
too.
shadows.
Well, one of
Yes.
the things I actually like about the Penguin is that he's not a lesser known Rogues Gallery villain, but they're focusing on somebody rather than the Joker. I like the Joker.
Yeah.
He's a great villain, but shit, dude, you got Clayface. Who else
Yeah.
you got? You got Killer Croc. You have
Mr. Freeze. I mean,
Yeah.
He's the
Mr.
Puppet
Freeze.
Freeze.
Yeah, I didn't even bring up
Uh,
Mr. Freeze.
the one
Poison
that I think
Ivy.
would be fantastic.
There's not Poison Ivy, and then you've got Batgirl and all those kind of things. There's so much there.
I would love to see the Mad
Catwoman.
Hatter.
That's
Catwoman.
It. Yeah, the Mad
I was
Hatter
going
would
to
be
Mad
mention
Hatter.
the Mad
Mad
Hatter.
Hatter would be great for something like this.
That's 10 years worth of shows.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Literally,
they were-
we just talked about 10 years worth of shows that if you followed the Sherlock Holmes pattern, you could have a top show making money for you for the next 8 to 10 years.
and it just has to be him solving a piece and realizing
Hugo
that-
Strange.
Hugo
Yeah.
Strange.
Right,
I
Rhaegar
know.
Targaryen. That's
Yeah,
a good one.
Man Bat, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
yes,
can
yes.
tell we really are nerds at heart because
Yeah.
we just went from politics seamlessly into Batman, and I don't remember how.
I don't remember how either.
Perfectly.
It's
I think it was
fucking great.
perfect. You know, one thing I have to
I
say,
brought up
maybe-
the Arkham Asylum
Yeah.
that was it.
chat
That's right.
from there to
Oh,
get us into
okay.
that. Yeah.
Maybe an unpopular idea, but I loved at least the first Sherlock Holmes movie with
Downey Jr.
Robert Downey
yeah,
Jr.
Yeah, I
Robert
thought
Downey
that was
Jr.
good.
and the
I
guy who
loved it.
plays Moriarty.
Yeah, the guy
in
from
this-
Mad Men, and
Dude,
a
yeah,
whole bunch
dude.
of other
Oh, yeah,
stuff that
he was
nobody ever
good.
knows his name.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not John Hamm, is it?
You know,
No.
he's somebody's
No.
son, though. No, he's somebody's. Oh God, I
Stone.
just found this.
Um,
I'll
Mark
find it.
Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
are you
who's-
talking about
Is
the
it Mark
Benedict
Stone? I
Cumberbatch
can't
one?
remember now.
No.
Mark Stone.
No,
The Robert Downey
Okay.
Jr.
Robert
one,
Downey
the
Jr.
guy
one.
who played Moriarty in the Robert.
Yeah, I
in
know what you're talking
number
about.
2.
It wasn't Mark Stone. Mark Stone was in the first film
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
as the bad guy. I have to go.
It's the guy that deleted himself in Mad Men.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
trying to
Jones.
look it up.
I'm looking it up.
Jones. Not Jones. Yeah, the little red-headed guy.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, he's like always awesome in whatever he's in.
That I read so much Sherlock
Jeez.
Holmes. I even read
I can't
authors.
even remember.
The one thing that Conan Doyle did is he never
Harris.
copyrighted his stuff
Jared
and
Harris.
never got pissed off when other people, Jared Harris, when other people wrote stories about Sherlock Holmes. There is a huge extended universe. There's even some people who've written Lovecraftian stories
Yes.
with Sherlock Holmes that have been really good. But
Interesting.
if you want to know the best adaptation I've ever seen of a book to television or movie is the BBC's adaptation of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes starring Jeremy Brett. That first year was phenomenal. And the guy that played Dr. Watson was great. He didn't come back for the second season because his wife became ill with cancer.
Oh,
And
that
he-
sucks.
And he
It's like Spartacus.
he went home to make sure that she was okay and raise the
Well, good-
kids, do
good
all that
for
stuff,
him.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
But that's from the 80s,
hmm
right?
still good.
Just a phenomenal show, top to bottom. They're on Tubi right now. All right, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, they're free.
I'm gonna have to
And
check
he
it out.
phenomenally acted. People who love the story, right? When we get all jazzed up about all the bad stuff that's happening in entertainment in the world and all that stuff from there, I like to go back and watch that series because it's a bunch of people who love something and treated it right.
Well, okay. One thing. It's been a hot minute since I watched T2, and watching it last week, I've forgotten how fucking good
Oh, yeah.
that movie
Oh,
is.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it just.
I'll be back.
Well, yeah, not just that, but it's like fucking A, dude.
Linda Hamilton
Linda
was
Hamilton
ripped.
was amazing in that movie. I mean, it just, I mean, with all the girl boss complaints with movies and television shows that we have today, I mean, that is a character that was really well done. And I'm not gonna say she didn't overstay her welcome. She was never overpowered, right? Just because she was skilled and trained, and that's the thing that was so good between like the first one and the second one is that you got the context of her background of what
Yeah,
happened
character
between those
building.
movies where she shacked up with people that could teach her these things.
She
The
had
fact
to
that
work for it.
she had to work for it.
for
And the
years.
really
fact that
worked for it.
you saw her beat the shit out of that orderly with the Billy Club, and when she was running with it, it's like you could see the fucking skill, and not just that, but her character arc in that movie was so fucking good, so fucking good, and just the duality of seeing the Terminator being the protector and her kind of adopting that Terminator persona when she's going after Miles Dyson. And then she fucking realizes it. It dawns on her that she's the fucking Terminator trying to kill him for something that he hasn't done yet. And it was such brilliant fucking writing. And it was done so well. And this is the type of nuance that we want with a good female character.
Yep.
But no, we get these bullshit fucking, female girl bosses that are dumb.
So in the
Don't
first
need no
film,
man.
Earned anything.
Don't
in the
need no
first
man.
film, Terminator 1,
Yep.
she was a girl.
Yes.
Waitress.
She was a
She was a
waitress
damsel
girl,
in
all that stuff and
distress.
everything.
Yep.
You didn't think, okay, she's going to save humanity because he's talking about this is what she did and all this stuff and everything. In the second film, by the end, I believed that.
Yes.
Mhm.
And the way that she did that. And Nicholas Horton pointed out the Jeremy Brett series, that was Granada Television. I'm so very sorry. It wasn't BBC. I
That's
saw
Canadian,
it off
right?
of Masterpiece Theater and things that were from there. The second season of that is kind of sad because Jeremy Brett was very ill and had an enlarged heart and stuff, things from there. And he was very, very sick and barely made it through the end of that
No, that's
series.
fine.
So,
So
but
can
thanks, Nicholas Horton. Appreciate
Can
it.
I
All right.
ask, do you guys believe T2 is better than T1?
I do personally.
I think I'm sorry.
I've gone back and watched T2 a
Yeah.
ton of times. I hardly
think it's
ever
a
watched
better-
Okay,
Terminator.
all right.
It's a better movie.
think
I
I'd
actually
go
agree
for
with Brahma.
T2.
As much as I love T1 and I feel very
Same
strongly
here.
it did not need a sequel, it is such a good fucking movie.
It's just such a
It's-
great
it's
movie.
amazing.
Yeah.
It legit is an amazing movie. And it's the same thing. It's like I talk about with Alien versus Aliens, okay?
Right.
They're two completely different genre of movies, okay?
Mhm.
Terminator is a horror film. Terminator 2 is an action film. It's the
Yeah.
same thing with Alien and Aliens, right?
Mm.
And I love both
Alien
those movies.
is a horror film.
Yeah, Aliens a
And
horror
it's an
film.
action film.
Aliens is an action film. I love them both for very different reasons, and
Right.
I mean, I would have to say technically, T2 is the better film.
Yeah,
as
without
much as I
T1,
love
T2
T1.
couldn't be that great.
Well, it's
but
a more
it is.
rewatchable film.
Oh,
Maybe.
Yeah.
hell
Yes,
yeah.
it is. Yeah.
So T2 to me and T1. All right, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. But if life doesn't also give you water and sugar, your lemonade's going to taste pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
Chicken and egg. T1, T2, you don't have one without the other.
Oh, absolutely.
Terminator doesn't last as long as it does without T2 coming with a bigger budget.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And driving home things and making things better and was better written and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They, with
Music.
more money, they did exactly what they needed to do to make a better film.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's
Right.
why I politically answered the way that I did.
Right.
Exactly. It is a
T2
better
is the one
film.
I will rewatch over and over
Right.
and
It
over.
is a better film because they had the money to spend on it and all that
Yeah.
stuff. But
T2
from
is
a
almost
concept,
perfection. It's
Right.
almost perfection.
I mean,
Yeah.
you
But from a
feel-
concept, I think
Terminator is
Terminator one-
my of the group. Terminator's my favorite film because it was the first one.
Of course.
It was a
yeah, I
great
see that.
concept.
Yeah.
And you saw Arnold Schwarzenegger slinging dong. That was just phenomenal. Going from
Dong
you're
everywhere.
sitting in the theater going, "Oh my god, look at that monster!"
Terminator
And-
1 is very iconic, and as much as I agree that the second
Dong
one's a
is
better
great.
film, I love the first one more because of what
It's
you
an
laid out,
emotion
Fox.
versus a
It's a
technical
little bit
movie.
grittier if you're
Yeah.
into that kind of thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a lot
Oh
more.
yeah,
gritty.
when he
Well, like,
beats
it's
up that
it's a
guy
horror
and
movie.
takes his clothes and oh come on, Bill
just-
Paxton.
With T2, what I loved about it was that you had this relationship between the John Connor and the Terminator,
and the Terminator.
but then his mother and the Terminator, that
Mm-hmm.
hatred she has, like you were saying at the beginning, but by the end, it's like this Terminator saved my child's life.
Yeah.
And he does the thumbs up thing, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
Realizing that he's actually okay. It's not
yeah, like
the
what a
original.
brilliant movie that second one was.
Yeah.
One and
The
two,
only thing I
fantastic.
didn't like
That's a
was
good question.
the actor for John Connor. Who was that? Furlong?
Yeah,
Furlong. Yeah.
Edward Furlong.
I thought I couldn't stand his acting in that
Don't worry,
movie.
they killed
I
him.
don't like kid movie, or I don't like kid actors in a lot of things, but he was just like
Don't worry, they killed
I
him.
did not like it.
He gets kind of high pitched and annoying at times.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
I think
Right.
overall he was all right.
He was all right, but I
But-
mean, yeah, there were
But the same
quite a
with
few
American
scenes where it's
History
just
X.
like, ugh,
It's like
that
Yeah,
did not
so-
hold up
I
well
was
at all.
young, annoying child, so now you know why I like Terminator first above that.
Yeah.
Mr. Drow brings up good points. So would you say the genre switch because the characters grow
Mm.
between horror to action? And
Well,
the
I
comics,
would say
that's
I
yours.
would-
because
Comics,
It's money.
that's yours.
Oh,
Okay, all right. I would say for Alien to Aliens, it's probably because you had a different director. Because Ridley Scott with the first one, it was a horror film, and then you did the sequel. And of course, it was James Cameron, and
You
both
knew they
those
were coming
movies-
in the second film.
yeah, I think that's part of it is they revealed it in the first, so you have no choice but to then do a little bit more. You have to have him on screen a little bit more in the second one.
Yeah.
You can't pretend like
Can't
you
just
don't know
repeat the
what it
first
is the
movie.
whole
Right.
time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So it
exactly.
automatically has to kind of switch from
It-
scary to
to action. It doesn't
Action.
mean it doesn't have horror elements in it, but
Right.
it's definitely more action based. And it's the same thing with Terminator, right? In a lot of ways, Terminator is something that Tom has mentioned. Terminator 2 is basically Terminator 1 again, with a better story.
Bigger
Also,
budget, too.
bigger budget, compelling.
It did allow them to
story.
do different
Amazing.
things.
Yeah, it
The
allowed
bigger
them to-
budget allowed
yeah.
it,
I actually have a lot of issues with the T1000. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it doesn't make any sense. How does this thing actually work, and how does it simulate being organic and being able to go through time, right? Because the whole and that's like the one thing I criticize the shit out of Terminator 2 with when it comes to Cameron is it doesn't fucking make sense. Okay. That aspect of it. Again,
It looked good though.
it looked good, great story.
Awesome.
There's things I'm willing to overlook, but it is a major fucking sticking point with me is the T1000. I have major problems with it. And I don't like the fact that they went away from the cybernetic organism, right?
I mean,
Because that's the
Mercury.
thing. Everything from there on was different. The thing
They
I
made it
loved
a
about the
metal
Dark Horse
organism.
comics is they stuck with this
It
the
was
cybernetic
just
organism
the
aspect
chance
of
to
it.
get Arnie to say things like polymetal supercomputer liquid.
Yeah.
It was a chance to get him to say some interesting words. In that
Technical.
Screw your freedom.
Screw your freedom. All right, we're gonna
So-
read these final super chats and we're out of here, guys.
Yeah.
Because
Are
I
there
gotta
no
go to bed.
memes?
That
We're
would
gonna-
Keely challenge.
We got a
Well,
long
I
night
have
tomorrow.
some stuff I need to get from
got
COT
the other-
Raptor, the ships.
Got that too. Okay.
Yeah, I'll get this pulled up in a sec. All right. So Roland says, for $20, I am sick of abortion. So many ignorant women. Here's some education. Dobbs swings both ways. No one will be able to make a law to legalize/ban abortion. Yes, exactly. Good luck getting 2/3 of the states or Congress to pass an amendment. And as
Yep.
I said, the reason why they keep it around is because it's a wedge issue.
And you know, they
But-
were talking on Tim Pool about that tonight, and Jeremy Boring came out and said yes, he's pro-life, 100% all the way from there, but he admits that the Republican Party has used it as a wedge issue because they never thought they would have to answer to the day that Roe v. Wade was overturned,
Right.
right? And now that it's happened, oh shit, what do we do? Because
Right.
their opinion is the minority opinion. It's not the majority opinion. So they've got a wedge issue that's only popular with a small subset of their base, right? It is a
That's
vocal
also where it
subset.
belongs in the states.
Well,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a
And
state thing.
It's
And-
crazy
Stay and
how
leave it there.
It's
And the
crazy
point
how
that
it
he's-
flipped. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. I was
No,
just,
go for it, Sport.
Okay,
You're the
all I was
guest.
going to say is it's crazy how terminology changed after the jab came out because it used to be pro-choice, but now they literally it's pro-abortion. It's no longer
Yeah,
well,
shout
body
your abortion
autonomy.
crap.
It's always been that way.
It's
Well, I
female.
understand that, but they're now saying it directly.
Gender's
because,
not supposed to be a thing,
well,
but
body
yet
autonomy
is
no
female.
longer-
Yeah,
They
yeah.
want
It's
the state to
women's-
be able to put something in you, but they want to be able to take something out.
Women's reproductive health, but what is a woman? But
Mm.
the point that he was making in the super chat is exactly correct.
Mhm.
All these idiots who think that they are voting for abortion by voting for Kamala, she can't do anything.
Nope.
You cannot. The president, now that it has been decided at the Supreme Court that it is in the states, the only way you're getting it through anywhere is by doing an actual amendment to the Constitution.
Which is
And
a
neither
hard,
side is going to
pain-in-the-ass
get
thing.
that done anytime soon.
Yep.
So
When did
abortion is a
Mississippi-
non-issue in a national election at this point. It's a
When did
issue at
Mississippi
your state level.
finally approve the emancipation of the slaves?
Oh God,
Was that like in the 60s?
it was
Or
close.
70s?
It was close. Yeah, it might
Yeah,
have been
it wasn't-
1972 or
It was
something
like
that.
something like that. It was a long way off before the final state ratified that.
That was the
And
last
you've
time
got-
the Democrats were in charge there.
There it is. And you know what?
They
You're not
were.
wrong.
They were.
All right, we're gonna
It's the
get this.
party that filibustered the Civil Rights Act. So
Yep.
there you go. Yeah.
All right, autistic statistic for 199. Never vote
We
for
got through
Hollywood
that.
choices. Yes, I agree.
Especially,
I'm applauding you getting through that name, comics, this late at night. Way to go.
Thanks. The Dead Man for 499. I think T1 and T2 tell complete stories and need any further explanation other than maybe the future war. Yeah, I agree. That's the thing I've been wanting to see because like when
Yes.
Judgment Day came out, I
Yes.
thought it was actually going to be about the war and Salvation. As much as that movie has issues, at least it gave us a war with the machines, despite the fact that it didn't line
Right.
up with anything with the previous
But
movies.
T2 ending up with it, we avoided it, right? That was a nice,
I
happy
agree.
ending to tie the story together. We didn't think we were going to get a third one.
Yeah.
Right at the time. So and that's why that movie made so much money.
Yep. It's a great fucking movie. All right, let's go take a look at Sabertooth Raptor ships. So here we go.
Ooh,
yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah, your stuff is killer. That's the top angle.
Oh, wow.
That rendered out really nicely, by the way.
Oh, that's
know
that modified NX design. I like that.
Yeah. That is really cool.
Because it reminiscent of what they used to do in airplanes to try and get them, they have the third one in the tail. And so because 4 engines was much more complicated to do.
Right.
And that makes perfect sense that they would do this before they would go to the quad setups and things like that to try and increase speed and power. Pretty smart.
Real quick to you, Toxic. It was 1995.
95. There you go.
140 years.
What was 95?
140 years later. That's when Mississippi
Yeah,
Oh.
Mississippi.
finally
Holy fuck! Really? Holy shit!
Emancipation Proclamation. Yeah, the 13th Amendment. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But how many
February
states
7th,
still have on the
1995.
sodomy laws too?
Yeah,
Well,
a lot of that stuff got overturned over time.
Yeah, but
too.
this is an amendment to the Constitution. That's pretty freaking big.
Yeah, like Connecticut has
Yeah.
blue laws, but this is a little different.
That's a little different.
A little different.
That's pretty cool.
1995.
Yes.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Look at that. Wow.
Ooh, yeah, that looks good. I like that one.
Yeah, I know some of these are kind of out of order. So that was the rear of that ship, and there's the one with the single in the
Why is it
cell.
always getting about the rear for you?
That's actually fucking cool. I
like
really
the
like the ship
3.
design.
I like
That's
this one.
neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
too.
another one. I'm gonna try and see if I can find it. There it is. That's
wow.
that's pretty neat. All right, so that's the underside of the other one. Of the other
Whose
one.
stuff is this?
This is Sabertooth Raptor.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, he's really fucking good with the 3D stuff, man. That is
Yeah, that's good
absolutely
NX. Let's see the
fucking-
battle damage and stuff from there.
all right. Sporking, since it's been a while, we'll get you going
Thank
first.
you for having me, man. I hope I can jump in more often. I love hanging out with you guys. But yeah, Sporky News Podcast. Usually I stream on Tuesdays and Saturday nights. It can't be every week. Too many kids. So please check out the channel though. Tomorrow night I will have, it's usually a Song of Ice and Fire stream, but we might do how leaders are chosen or elected in the world of Westeros tomorrow, just to get your minds off of the other stuff.
Off with his head.
Yes, and Saturday nights we do Aluminum Spork, where we talk, conspiracies.
The current
ancient
news
laws.
every 7 weeks.
Yeah, every 7 weeks. Ancient 7's a prime number and a
I have a
sacred one.
conspiracy theory why it's every 7 weeks.
Oh, we'll talk about that backstage. But
Is
yeah,
it his period?
we're gonna try to make it two
2 weeks in a row.
2
Yeah.
weeks in a row.
Hey-o.
We'll be talking Graham Hancock's second season of.
Oh, it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was
Ancient
awesome.
Was it
Civilizations.
Ancient Apocalypse?
Ancient
or-
Apocalypse.
Ancient
Keanu
Apocalypse.
Reeves was in it.
And maybe
in the
a
first
special,
episode.
maybe a special guest. I'm actually lying, but maybe a special guest. So
Maybe.
show up.
It's
on
always
Saturday.
possible.
gonna
That Tate
promise
Boji
Gary-
will be there.
You gonna promise
Yeah.
Gary again and not deliver?
No, I just don't promise Gary anymore. Dude, the man says he's forget it. Anyways, he's a busy guy. Thanks, Gary.
Thanks.
All right. Well, that was a fun show, guys. Good show tonight. Tomorrow, as I'm a Canadian, I'll be doing what all Canadians do every day, which is going out finding some really good dirt to eat because things are so hard. We're so broke here. There's some lovely filth down here, Dennis. And all this silly talk about
I'm being repressed.
all this silly talk about First Amendment stuff. How
Yeah, you
cute
guys
having,
don't have
how
it.
cute having the government allowing you to have the right to speak.
You guys didn't get a Bill of Rights until the 80s as
That's right.
well.
Well, hey,
And then they
hey,
could
we're
just
working
ignore
on
it.
becoming Canadian just like you. We're trying really hard. At least our government is.
hard to fuck this up.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you'll get
Anyway.
some really good actors and singers coming up.
That's
in
true.
the next week.
They won't be
Our
coming.
hearts will go on.
Luckily, they won't be coming to my prairie town, so that's okay. But I'll probably do a radio stream and Rumble tomorrow night while you're all talking politics, just so I could just do something different. Wednesday night, though, just to have some laughs, we're doing a cult comedy crew episode edition on my channel, and we're going to go for a big one. Monty Python and the Holy Grail will be the topic.
Yes.
So we'll be visiting the Castle Arg for a good spanking.
Oh God, that's fucking fun.
Bring
So
out the holy hand grenade.
Holy hand grenade of Antioch.
3 shall be the number of the counting,
Also,
not more. So that's
What is
we're
the
going to do
average
that
speed of a
Wednesday night,
swallow?
6:30 p.m. on my channel for a laugh. We're going to have a laugh. I think we'll all need a laugh.
Probably.
And then I guess there'll be other stuff later in the week if the world is not in flames. Coconuts are required.
It probably will be.
How else are you going to get around unless you've got your coconuts? I mean,
What about a grail ship beacon?
What?
the Castle Arg. Oh no, it was the Castle Arg, the one with
What's the
actual-
velocity of a laden swallow?
Unladen
African or
swallow.
European?
African or European? I don't know
I
that.
didn't know that.
Yeah, some
We
who
are the
call me
knights of
Let's not.
Tim.
Tim.
Tim
the Enchanter.
Get on with it.
It's only
Yes.
a bloody flesh wound.
On
So-
second thought, let's not go to Camelot. Tis a silly place.
See, that's all we're going to do for 2 hours is just recite the movie.
Recite
Just
the
in a
movie,
riddle,
yeah.
Carol.
That's pretty much how Monty Python
Yeah, it
works.
goes.
So, of course, tomorrow night we've got the big election stream. It'll be on my channel, Comics' channel, and Carrie Smith's channel, and
Awesome.
we've got a total of, I think we're up to 11 or 12 guests that will
Working.
be. Some will be panelists throughout the night. Others will be rotating in and out and just joining us when they have some time. The thumbnail's already out there with the guest list, so if you look it up, you can.
That was a
look
really
at
good
it.
thumbnail that you did, by the way.
Is that,
Oh,
is
thank
that
you.
your way of saying I can't be added? Okay.
No, you can be
No,
added
I'm just-
because we've got rotating spots, but you
I'm
said you're
kidding,
doing a
buddy.
show. But
I
I
love
doubt
you.
you'll be doing a show at 1 a.m. So
Hell,
you can join about then.
them.
I ran out of characters to respond to something in the chat. So the troll was saying that he doesn't think that that's the way the abortion issue would work, even if they did get 60 votes in the Senate, or if they did abolish the filibuster.
Mhm.
The Supreme Court has already ruled it's with the states. So
Right.
it can only be changed by a constitutional amendment at this point.
Mhm.
You
Or they
cannot make
overrule
a
it,
federal
right?
legislation that says that abortion is the national law.
Yep.
So you can neither have the
another case
ban
come up in
nor
front of them?
legalize it.
Can another case come up in front of the court?
The only way they're getting that to happen is having the Senate, and that's not happening in this
Okay.
election cycle.
No.
It's already, even before the night begins tomorrow, we're already at 51. So you're not going to. The only way you could do it would take a lot of work, which would be abolishing the filibuster,
Mhm.
packing the Supreme Court, which they have said that they would do, but they're not going to have
I
the seats
believe
to
'em.
do it. Yeah, but they're not going to have the seats to do it.
You're overlooking
we're
a
not-
military junta seizing power and establishing a Marxist dictatorship.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
until you could get Dobbs reversed, the only way this can become a federal issue is by doing all those things. So at this point, the only way to do it is a national constitutional amendment,
Yep.
which would take 2/3 of the states to ratify.
Yep.
The situation is a dead issue.
Mhm.
It's at the state level.
And that's the thing that they're not telling anyone, right? The whole
Right.
thing that Kamal is running on is a fucking lie.
Right.
That her whole campaign has been on abortion, and
Yep.
she can't do anything about it. She can't do an executive order. She won't have the Congress or the Senate. So at this point, yeah, it literally is a state issue or a constitutional amendment. And I'm not a lawyer either, but I've listened to plenty of lawyers who have broken this down a lot over the past few months. So come check out the election stream. It'll either be very, very fun or very, very angering. Either way, I'll probably have a bit of bourbon, and we'll have a whole bunch of fun people to talk to. That will be starting at, I think it's
7 p.m. Central.
8 p.m. Eastern, so 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Central. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we'll already have the first wave. The first poll closes, or the first poll closings will happen an hour before we start. So Indiana and a few other states will already be decided. And so we'll be hopping in right as Pennsylvania is closing. Georgia will already be closed, but will already be deep into their count.
Mhm.
So we'll be jumping right into the action. So come check it out. It'll be fun. And it'll probably go late.
That's awesome.
All righty. And here we go. Make acorns.
Yeah, so I want to get a few memes in there. Robbie, make acorns great again. All over that. Thanks, Robbie. It was really good. Also, we got one from 70s. Nancy Drew Mystery Series there. The Secret of the Old Cock. Right there. Comics driving away in his comics van. Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's the comics van.
That was a
Comics
shed.
van. It's a moving
It's a
shed
van.
with wheels.
Of course.
It's the 50s. It was old art. And then this, it has music, which I'm not going to play, but I'm just glad I'm not in this. Thank you very much.
God
I have
Dancing
seen
is
comics. Yeah, comics does dress like this.
Not even close.
Yeah, he does. He does.
That's hot.
But it'd actually be more anatomically correct if culture was in that outfit. Comics would check. But yeah. So there you go. Those are things that I need to not share anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awful. Thank you all very much for those. It was a good show tonight. Thank you very much. You've got the election stream tomorrow. I will be on a self-imposed, I ain't fucking watching this shit blackout for the next several days.
Probably
So,
good for your sanity talks.
Oh, yeah. Where I
Yours
live.
especially.
Yeah. Things can get
After the smoke clears, you'll find out whether you live in a Marxist dictatorship or not.
I already live in a Marxist dictatorship.
Fair enough.
Called Illinois.
Someone needs to turn the Hadron Collider on even harder.
Yes.
Hawk
Where's
lives
Harp
just
when you
far
need
enough away from the main city that he'll probably survive all the buildings burning.
Yeah.
You never
At
know.
least we can keep warm in winter when the cities are burning.
That's right. I've got plenty of firewood. But after that, you've got all the stuff Culture's going to be doing for 11 hours tomorrow and 12 hours Wednesday and then 55 hours on Saturday. I think he said he works.
Yep.
Thursday night throwdown, we'll do that. We'll have another, if I can get all the damn Halloween stuff that I put on the intro out, I will have that ready to go.
We have nothing to watch this Thursday, do we?
No, we don't.
No, it's going to be aftermath of the
Agatha's
political
done.
crap.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, we're
could
probably in a
recommend-
talking aftermath. Who
I
knows?
could
We'll see.
recommend a good Korean movie for you. It's on Netflix
Sounds
called
not fun.
Uprising.
Mm,
Well, I've been watching the Graham
Check it out.
Hancock stuff. I thought that was pretty good.
it's fun. It's good.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff and things in there, but I'm into that.
I'll have to check it out. All right, folks, thank you so much for hanging out this night. It was a lot of fun. Make sure to watch us tomorrow night during the election. It should be an interesting evening, I would assume. It would be great if it was boring and we just made jokes all night, but I doubt that's going to be the case.
You know what? If Trump wins, will you let me play the cottage cheese clip?
No, nothing. There's nothing that.
I feel like
How
that's
is-
a devil's bargain.
I know. It'd be side of my
Is it a
soul.
Faustian deal? Fuck.
That's what it is.
You're slats.
Good night, folks.
So
Here's some credits.
I'll play it if Kamala doesn't win. There we go. How about that?
You know what? I'll take one for the team. I'll let you play it if he wins. But it has to be after the inauguration.
Damn it.
Somehow we'll wipe it off of the internet
So,
before he can play it.
I either get to play it or I have to give up on my Hakeem
Okay.
Jeffries 2025 dream.
No, tell you what, if Kamala wins, then that will become the new national anthem and it'll have to be played on the big screen before every sporting event.
That's right. I will have to go to a Blackhawks game and I will have to salute that when it
Yes.
happens. Yes.
I feel like Gary's not going to appreciate that at all.
No, I don't think he's going to.
Hey,
Already
isn't
out
that
in the
guy
ether.
off of Piers Morgan? I didn't know he had that cottage cheesy of an ass.
Ass. Yeah, he looks okay in torn fishnets.
Everybody go vote if you haven't.
Dr. Megatron is right. I will simply just walk away while it plays.
I mean, hell, I'm
He
Canadian.
is correcting it, but yes, I will.
I'm Canadian and I've voted 18 times already.
Nice.
Oh, what he's not telling you is that they're all for Trudeau.
No, God, no.
Well, I should say his votes were changed to Trudeau by the state.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Because I'm Canadian. When I selected Trump, it came up Trudeau every time
So,
on the machine.
Brian, did they call a special election?
In Canada?
Yes.
No.
I thought I saw last week that
Did
they were
they?
calling it a special election.
No.
The guy who, in his legislation, said he would never call for a special election, I heard called for a special election last week.
Nah, I don't think so. It didn't happen. There's too many cucks that will support him till the end. So it's besides, I don't want that to happen. I don't mind a special election being called. I don't want them replacing him, his party replacing him, because that's just the same.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah,
because there's no chance that Poliver or whatever is, however you pronounce his name, gets in.
Yeah, the NDP will keep propping up the Liberals, and if you change Trudeau, which you're just going to get the same with any of his cronies.
See, that's the parliamentary system leads to an administrative state much sooner than a representative republic does, right? But both of them need to be, have the pot stirred every so often.
Yeah.
Randall said the NDP are propping up Trudeau. Yeah, it's.
My prediction is out of this election, if Trump does win, we're going to see new parties form
81 million Canadian
in the
votes.
U.S.
It will happen in other countries too, like Canada. There's a realignment's going to happen.
I
Just
think Trump's
remember-
coalition will be forming into a new party that is
Yeah, look at
basically
that.
You
going
didn't
to
have to
throw
do
the
that, Scott.
Republican Party to the side.
Now we're going to have to let you on. Damn it.
Jeez. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out. We will
Thank
catch you
you.
next time. Actually, we'll catch you tomorrow night.
Not me.
Not
That
you.
shit.
Yeah. No,
Be safe,
Drunk.
everybody.
indeed.
See ya.